How's it going, everybody? I am Kyle from Fantasy Forward Studios, and we are back with Session 70 of the Everlast Role-Playing game, The Adventures of Eclaas. Man, all these years in the making, and we're only on Session 70. Although 70 sessions is kind of a lot. I was thinking, actually, right before we ended, when we were back in Colorado, doing everything, I believe we were at like 46 sessions. And so if you think about it, we've already passed the 100 session mark. That's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
That's absolutely
Wait, does that mean
nuts.
at this point we've streamed more sessions than we haven't?
Yep, by quite a bit.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, can't hear you, Dane.
What do you mean by that? I'm confused by that. Stream more sessions than we haven't?
Yeah, because like
of all the sessions we've done, we've streamed more of them than the ones that weren't streamed.
Yeah. We're good. That's true. And you know what's crazy? It's 2 full adventures that we've done. Basically, 2 full adventures.
That's true.
Well, 1.5.
1.5. 1.5 for back.
So.
Although technically the subterranean
you
adventures
guys
were a separate one. So it was kind of a shorter beginning adventure, and then there was the Helix, and then there was the Burble Dow stuff, and now this one. So yeah, it's
Nice.
but welcome, everybody. How's it going? It's been a month since our Everlast session. For those who are new here, welcome. Very happy to have you. For those that are returning, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year if we haven't seen you in since the new year. But yeah, we are on session 70 of the Everlast role-playing game, The Adventures of Eclaas. And we are joined by everybody. Eventually, Connor will jump in. He's just running a little bit late today. So you'll see his character up there, but he'll pop in a little bit later. So without further ado, let's go ahead and have our players introduce themselves before we jump into a little bit of a recap and get this party started. Starting with Zill.
Hello, I'm Max. I play Zill. I don't know why I'm looking at my microphone when my camera's here. It's fine. I don't remember where stuff is.
Nice.
Anyway, Zill. He's the orphan of Helix, the future refining and prospector, the blacksmith extraordinaire, Waffle House, the teapot of madness. He is a slightly naive to the more minute details of the social workings of the world, but has a heart for protection and taking care of those who can't, and is starting to come around on doing the right thing more, but still is happy to steal ancient swords for himself. He's the party tank. He has almost double anybody else's HP, and he almost died last session. That was a new experience.
Made me happy.
So here we are.
Hey, it's a good day when I get you close to dying, but you don't die, because then
We need to test out the death mechanic. We haven't done
Yeah,
that.
we never have.
Let me go over that really quickly before going forward. No.
Is this an omen?
Who knows? Maybe the next.
Don't
one
worry,
is-
I have a thing for that.
That's true.
I know you do.
That's
Talia
true.
can resurrect people, but they're done for when they're resurrected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
They need-
Two
They're
exhaustion
basically
levels?
useless.
They need some.
3 levels of weariness.
Oh, 3. Oh my goodness.
Which basically that means
You're
let me
alive.
look, 3.
And 1 remaining
lasts-
hit point.
Yeah, it lasts for 48 hours, and the affected creature gains despair on all skill checks, survival checks, weapon hit rolls, and damage rolls, in addition to the effects of the previous levels of weariness, which there's 2 other ones.
Sick.
So, yeah, it's nice. It is good.
But it's better
They're
than
alive.
being dead.
Yeah, they're alive.
Yeah,
they're
it's
basically
good.
just sitting there, just like, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I was
3
feeling,
levels
I was
of
feeling
weariness.
at peace, and now I'm here in this body that's broken.
Yeah.
3 levels of weariness is the Everlast equivalent. He's not dead. He's mostly dead.
It's mostly exactly.
His eyes are open though.
You blave.
Yeah. Oh my
Absolutely.
gosh.
But that is Zill. He did survive the last stream, but even if it's just barely. But it's good that he has all of the HP that he does. But our next character is Luke Salia.
It's Luke Solly. Sorry, I'm currently looking through all the emojis to see if there's like a "that's delicious" emoji, but I can't find one.
Let's see. I'll look for you.
Thanks. I'm Luxalia. Well, I'm Cole, and I play Luxalia, and she is pretty nifty. She's got a mysterious past that's getting less mysterious by the day, and a troubled past, perchance. And she's a shrine maiden of Amaterasu. And yeah, she likes light. Light is good, and she likes Alamnia. Alamnia is good, and she heals people and tries to make it so that Zil doesn't die. Who keeps just trying to die, you know? And
I don't keep trying to die. I keep trying for you all to not die. It's very, very specific.
And the only way he knows how to do that is throw himself in the way, which I'm appreciative of. So anyway, that's Luxalia. She's cool. She's a Glyven, which is a fox, not a fox. Fox?
Fox.
Fox people?
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, she has sometimes 1 tail, sometimes 9. Depends on how holy she is at the time. Yeah, I think that's it.
Are you maxed out on your misery, right?
Misery?
Your full virtue,
Or-
right?
Oh, yeah. I am. I've got 12 out of 16 possible virtue points.
Wow, you're doing pretty good. You probably got like 8 tails going right now.
Sick. It's good.
Very virtuous. And then what happens when you go into when you go into Vice? You just lose all your tails.
Yeah, I'm tailless. It's no
Maybe
good.
Belbin's been tailless for a while.
Does he have that feature too?
No, that's only Silverwood.
Yeah, I was gonna
Silverwood
say.
Glyph's not that. But yeah, it's good. We have Luxalia, our healer, and thank goodness to Luxalia last battle. Not only did what was the ability, the shield ability that you have.
Yeah,
Yes, the armor
Protector
of
of Light.
Yeah,
Protector of Light.
did freaking work last battle, and also
What I like to hear.
yeah, I was just like, I'm coming in with this army of guys, Protector of Light, and then every time they did like their passive fire damage, then they were getting damaged by their own passive damage. and
That's
it was just
right.
Like,
Yeah.
it was rough.
Damage the passive damage with passive damage.
But, yeah, exactly.
that.
So loop.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're very thankful to Luxalia because it
Yeah.
would have been a very different battle.
And she's all out of mana, so
Well, you're running
not
to a,
true.
you're
She's
running
got
to a boat right
2
now.
left. Oh, good.
We've got mana potions and stuff.
Yeah. I'll
Horatius
probably
needs
drink
those,
one on the
though.
way.
Well, Horatius is a mooch,
Who
so
the heck is Horatius?
Cole, he's he's the guy that we caught who was adrift, the elf.
Oh yeah. Was he
Cool
with
guy.
us right now?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was fighting with us.
Oh.
yeah
He's
doing work.
exploding dudes.
I think
Yeah.
I left early that stream,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I wasn't there for the fight.
Yeah, basically he
I didn't know
was
he jumped in.
he does a bunch of he did like a bunch of like AoE like earth damage,
Earth
which
damage
was super
was
effective
really
because like Thordain was like,
Hey,
I know the
Horatius.
weaknesses of these guys, earth damage, use earth damage, and so he was like, all right, and then he would have to rest a turn between uses, but
Sick.
yeah, he would nuke things.
That's
So,
pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
he's
good.
pretty pimpin'.
I didn't realize that he could do anything. I thought he was just a
He
dude.
also sunk a boat. If you remember, he literally
Oh,
pillared
yeah.
of light in the boat.
Yeah,
but then he
do we
passed out.
trust this dude? He's way too powerful.
He's pretty good.
He's also you found out
We
that
have
he's-
gone back and forth on trusting him so many times.
He's
Yeah,
so,
I thought
he's
he was-
so old.
He is
Oh,
old.
okay.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he doesn't look old. He just is old.
I bet Thordain's older.
No.
No, Thordain's young. Thordain's a baby.
Horatius. Yeah, Horatius. What was he? Thousands of
Oh.
years old.
Yeah,
Oh crap!
like at
He's
least over
old.
1,000 years old.
I forgot he was an
he's-
elf. Yeah,
Yeah. No, but as far as
Belbin still looks older.
yes, but I've actually thought Horatius for a hot minute there was Lolothi until Lolothi came out of what's his bucket. So
Nazarene.
Nazarene.
Yeah. What a weird
So-
sentence. Yeah.
Next character is Yuki.
Hi everyone, my name is Dane or Fortune Fantasy Forge Studios. I play the character Mistletoe Yuki. She's a silver draken from the far north reaches of a city called Flamongolith. It's in the Ravinian Peaks, which is the snowy upper mountains on the north part of Everlast. She is a bard class, however, not your typical supporty bard, though she does have some supporty skills from her base bard class. But she is the actual physical DPS of the bard class called the Blade Dancer, and she uses 2 broadswords to slice and dice the competition, she also got damaged quite a bit. Almost 200 damage she took from the last battle, which is nice. But it's okay. We've succeeded. She's limping right now, but you know, that's what she does. That's what you get for being a frontliner. She's charismatic. She oftentimes is the person who does all of the speaking for good when we have to roll for things, because she's got some good charm and influence. But she also is on her faith journey in order to get closer to Lamia, and it's been a struggle, but she is fully virtuous at the moment, so hopefully that leads her to more graces. So
Yeah.
it's good. Yeah. Is there a way to increase your virtue level?
Only by increasing your faith score, because it's based off of
Makes
your
sense.
faith modifier.
What if you have 0 faith? What if
It's
there's
not
0 of it?
Dude, you gotta
What-
have faith.
What if you have 6 faith?
George
6
Michael
faith.
said, you
Yeah,
gotta have
that's
faith.
true. That's true. But yeah, so that's Yuki. She's pretty cool, and she needs heals. She's got heals, but Thordane's gonna heal her. I didn't realize this, by the way. Before we get into Belbin and Thordane, Thordane's got a super useful skill, like a super useful skill. So if anyone ever has any like plants or anything, especially outside of battle, and you make Thordane use the one to heal you with them, you just get the maximum value of the healing if it's a plant, and you also get a plus modifier. I think. Let me look.
Yeah, you don't have to roll for
it's-
it, which is nice.
It's kind of nice. So like if we do pick up herbs and plants, just make sure you give them to Thordane, or at the end of battle, make sure Thordane's the one who heals you.
Yeah, and
with
you'll notice in shops like the herbs are much less expensive, obviously, than potions. That potions just give you like a flat heal like amount, where like you actually have to roll for like the herbs, but like he can just like give you the full benefit of it.
Well,
if
and
you
he's
use
also
it.
got herb lore, which is when you use a consumable to restore HP to a creature, heal an additional +4, so you get +4 on top of it as well. So if we're using consumables, make sure Thordane's the one to administrate it. It's pretty
But
Yeah.
do we lose friendship points when we eat those herbs?
friendship points. What?
Pokemon.
good. Oh. Is that what happens in Pokemon? I don't know.
Yeah, like
It-
bitter
it's the
herbs.
bitter
Just a
herbs.
particular kind of berry.
Yeah, they like heal you. They're cheaper, but
Hey, I get it. If
makes their
someone's feeding
friendship
me
level
berries,
go
I'll
down.
lose friendship points with you.
No, the berries make them more friendly. It's
Oh,
the
dang it.
bitter herbs that they don't like.
I thought there was a kind of berry that made them less friendly. Never
Yeah,
mind.
it's called the strawberry.
Anyway,
I know, right?
just for you.
You and Max.
No, hate of strawberry makes Kyle and I more friendly to each other.
There you go. There you go.
Trauma bonding.
Perfect. And that's your hidden ability.
Drama.
Any
As soon as you
shared
gain- as soon
negative
as you gain
experience
points of
when you grow-
misery, you're the person that you're trauma bound with gains points of virtue.
Yeah.
Good.
Oh,
That is crazy.
I love it. I'm sorry. We'll skip Belbin for now because Connor might jump in any minute. So we'll go to Thordane. In the meantime, so Thordane, he is a fancy wood elf, and he is a young wood elf, but he is the kind of the party guide. He is a ranger, specifically a hunter. No, a tracker. And he has basically supports from behind with his bow, which he was doing last stream, and then also he has great heals, as we had mentioned before. But he is much more known for being the two-time WrestleMania champ and the captain of Alamia's Breath. And he is 100% victorious against humans or live people,
Not Kokoro.
not robots.
Cheating.
Yeah, cheater, exactly. And so, yeah, it's he's a cool dude. He is the current holder of the Rum of Ages, and he also is an elf of science. So he does what he can to figure everything out about the world. He takes one look and he at a creature, and he's able to study it and know exactly what happens, as long as he can think well in the midst of battle. So yeah, he's pretty cool. He's kind of the DMPC, and he's shipping everybody around literally.
So he's basically the elvish human Pokedex.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like, what is the weakness and resistance of this guy? I've never seen them before, but I can deduce it based off of their characteristics.
It's good. He should have a book.
He should
Write it all down.
He should. Maybe that's the next arc of Thordain is he's just going to become a writer, like create a monster manual.
Ooh.
So Valinith, basically.
Um,
And then we could sell a
Luke's
book
commander.
of Thordain's
Notes of Thordain.
monster manual.
Thordain's observations on all the monsters in Everlast.
Yeah. We could.
And that's
Next
just literally the
expansion
monster
coming up.
manual. Yeah, that's literally the monster manual
Yeah.
of the Everlast Tabletop RPG.
Canon.
He's
Love
gonna
it.
start working for the Adventurers Guild. He's gonna just get put up on expeditions and be like, I am now employed by someone. I guess he's an elf. He lives all kinds of years. He could just spend 100 years of his life just going out and discovering all the weaknesses and resistance and all the information about all the monsters. Probably
Pretty
smart
good.
thing to do. But yeah, he's pretty cool. He's a cool bean. But because Connor is not here and we're just about to start, we can go ahead and introduce Belbin. So Belbin, he is a Glyven of the Roku Horn. He is an old man of the group. He's not the oldest of the group, but he's the most old man of the group. And he is a oblate martial artist, and so he is also a frontline attacker, focusing a lot more on his agility, dexterity, to unleash furies of blows and all kinds of stuff that way. We actually have learned the past few sessions that he knows how to use mana and does passive damage over time, so that's pretty cool. And just recently, last stream, 2 streams ago, for the first time maybe since like session 1, he is out of Vice, and he is now neutral. So he is
Finally.
not being controlled by his lower bases as much anymore. So,
as much.
As much.
Very important clarification.
And he, is with Eclaas Eeas, being kind of the foil to Luxalia, but he does get into a fair bit of mischief, that's for sure. He is a bowling champion. He is the first person in all of Everlast to bowl a 300. 300? 300.
300.
Yes.
300. And he basically now carries a 16-pound bowling ball with him wherever he goes.
Seems like kind of a waste of backpack space to me, but you know.
You can use it as a weapon, I guess. You could chuck it at someone. It's like a cannonball.
Would that be bludgeoning damage?
Yeah.
What would that
Yeah,
be?
probably.
Siege damage?
Nice.
And every time it hits, he yells, "Strike."
Bowling strike.
It's gonna be like a new like one-time use thing that he can use per battle, just bowling ball attack.
Nice.
With his strength, honestly, he could probably like not even shot put it. He could probably just throw it. At
Pretty
someone.
good.
Just a 16-pound rock just being knocked at someone.
You roll 2d16, and on 2 natural 16s, the target creature dies.
Oh.
Just an odd.
On anything else, it deals 1d4 damage.
Yep, you literally destroy an archdemon with bowling ball.
A couple bowling ball at it. It's just like.
Gotta get it blessed with holy water first, and then you'll be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am Kyle. I am the Fate Weaver. I am the creator of this world of Everlast, and very excited and happy to continuously bring this game to you. 70 sessions later, years later, it's crazy. And as we begin to near the end of its adventure, it's very exciting to. It's very exciting to continue to bring this to you. Just remember that this is a game that is copywritten and owned by Fantasy Forge Studios' Kyle LaFonte. Don't take it and sell it as your own product, but feel free to use it for your own homebrew stuff. Eventually, we'll come out with a tabletop role-playing supplement for the Everlast role-playing game. But until then, you can enjoy the TCG, and you can enjoy what we are doing here at Fantasy Forge Studios in the Adventures of Eclaas. Anything else before we do a little bit of recap? Anything come to your minds? We need some recap. It's been a month. So the last thing that happened is basically all of Flomberge is engulfed in lava and flaming rocks that are raining from the sky out of Aishin Volcano. It's a problem. But Eclaas Eeas is a group of adventurers that are now the current holders of the Earth Key. They went to go see what was going on with the elemental pillars, specifically the flame pillar, finding out that Nazrahim had been basically using the power of the flame pillar to hold back Lulathi, the archdemon who was possessing him. He was basically holding Lulathi prisoner inside of his own body. That is until Eclaas came down and released Lulathi into the world. But it pretty much, Nazrahim, the great dragon from the very first age, is kind of done for. He's a little bit tired. And because of that, and because of the weakened state of the flame pillar, Aishin Volcano has erupted yet again. And flames basically and lava began to engulf the city. So Eclaas, running back through the entire basically lost keep of Ashalinthil, avoiding mostly all the lava damage. Azil bringing up the rear, struggled with that a little bit. He's now got turkey legs now.
Yeah, the smoked turkey legs. I like it.
Turkey legs. Made their way out into basically the top of the statue, and saw that basically the entire city was not just under siege by falling rocks from the sky and magma spilling out of Aishin Volcano, but all kinds of magmins that have basically started attacking the citizens and the city. And so as the city began to evacuate down to the sea to avoid the magma, Eclaas stood at the bridge, one bridge which they fought the Bloody Bosun earlier, defending it against an onslaught of magma minions, including a captain of the magma minions who came, and lots of damage later with the help of Horatius as well. They were able to dispatch of all of them, and now very wounded and very injured, at least part of the frontline fighters are. They turn around to go make their way back down towards the boat Alamia's Breath, and basically most of the entire population of Flomberge down at the shores of Aishin Island. So, with that being the case, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, right where we left off at the end of last battle, which was, again, the conclusion of this fight.
Yuki waddles over to Thordane and says, I'm a little toasted. Is there any way, Thordane, you can heal me? And Thordane's like, of course, Yuki, I can heal you. That's what they're doing.
I mean, I also... It's fine. You got it, Thordane.
Yuki turns back to Luxalia and says, do you even have any mana, Luxalia? You kind of used a lot during that battle.
Yeah, but I got more of these. And I show the mana potions.
Horatius, with the deep bags under his eyes, he looks at it. He looks at the mana potion longingly.
That mooch. Yuki turns to Zil and says, Zil, how are you feeling? You took most of that. You doing okay? You didn't look too good there for a second. Seems like Thordane saved you.
There's not much I can do about those roasted turkey legs that you've got there.
Oh, those will be fine.
Thordane's gonna use one reliable healing herb and one improved healing herb on Yuki, healing 20, 30, 36 damage. And he turns to Zil and says, do you need some of these herbs too? I can spare some 36 on you as well.
Sure. And I'm also gonna add one of my... Can I hand him one of my own simple healing herbs?
Yeah. Well, how much does that heal? Just do max plus 4 on that.
Then 12. So
Cool.
48.
Cool. Yep, he can do that.
Okay. Brings me back to an even 100.
Nice.
And as you continue to heal yourselves here on the spot, you hear that the screams have dulled a little bit. The volcano is still rumbling, but at this point, the large rocks of the explosion are no longer falling out of the volcano, but pretty much the entirety of Flomberge is underwater. You can basically see off in the distance, you're kind of at this high point of Flomberge, that the forest itself seems to be burning. The jungle seems to be alight with fire and smoke as basically it's poured over the caldera that Flomberge sits on top and into the forest below. Many of the trees are on fire, and there's a large black cloud that begins to fill the entirety of the sky. What was a beautiful, partly cloudy day has suddenly become masked by smoke and ash.
and a tear comes to Yuki's eye as she recollects her good buddy Yukio, the Axebeak, saying like, "Ah, he's now a roast turkey Axebeak." Sad day. Does anyone remember that? Yuki was an
I do.
Oh, yeah.
champion with her poor Axebeak, who's now just a roast turkey, like Zill's legs.
Was that on this island? I thought that was a different
That was
island.
this
on the
island.
archipelago.
No, yeah, that
it
was
the other side of the island, though.
Oh.
yeah.
Down in Takai Town, which, if you guys remember, Takai Town was pillaged and ransacked by the pirates run by Jack.
Literally,
Knott.
this whole time, I thought
Mhm.
that was a different island.
We did leave this island and come back, so it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, so if you look at the general map, I have the map here.
General map.
You look at the general map here. You've got Aishin Island that is down here at the very northern part of it. You have
It's a
Flomberg.
big island.
And at the very south, yeah, it's a large island. At the very south, you have Takai Town.
Ah,
So
nice.
it's where Aishin Volcano is, and your ship is parked right off the north shore of it.
Sweet.
A little bit of some context there, but with that being the case, you guys all heal up. The lava doesn't seem to be climbing up and reaching the level of where you currently are at this bridge, but it has engulfed much of Flomberg, which has become
Quick question, clarification. So I know you said there was a bunch of people going into the keep in Flomberg to like protect themselves. Is that like higher up too with
It
the
is.
lava?
So basically,
covering
the
that?
keep is like kind of on the mid layer, and then it extends like I think it goes close to 8 stories up to basically like a pinnacle. So if you're looking here on the map, this central area is the keep, and so pretty much all the way up until about the 4th story, it is basically the magma is there. So
Oh my gosh, that's so like the whole town is just under magma.
under magma right now.
Ooh, that's rough. That is rough. Okay. Well, I guess no dilly-dallying. Let's get back to the ship. Update everyone. I just hope that no one blames us for this volcano erupting, even though it is kind of our fault to a certain extent.
Smart decision, Luxalia, or Yuki, Thordane says as he finishes applying bandages and the basically herbs to the burn wounds that Zill
Yeah,
has.
that's good.
Without further ado, let's head back to the ship, and as the group of you make your way across the bridge, you can see that the magma itself, like there's like a magma river that goes under. It's like almost touching the bottom of this bridge. And it is really hot. I mean, compared to when you were down inside the Lost Keep of Ashalenthil, it was hot there, but this is almost unbearable, as basically like there's just like flames are like all around you. But you run across the bridge, and there is a long stair that it's about, like I said, it takes about 10 minutes to climb, let alone go down. And you can see as you look down kind of where the boats are, you see the ships, and you see probably close to 200 to 300 Draken that are kind of just like lined up there, like up the side of the cliff, like on the stairs, trying to basically looking back up at the flames coming from the city and from the forest below, or trying to figure out what to do. From what you guys know, Flame Draken probably aren't the best swimmers, so
Cool.
They're immune to fire, though.
Well,
resistant.
Oh.
Yeah, they can't wade through lava. I don't think many creatures have the ability to do that. Maybe Nazrahim. He seems to be doing okay. Maybe.
What about those rock people?
The Hiroxen?
Oh, the
Hiroxen.
Hiroxen?
I feel like they should be.
Hiroxen are resistant to most physical damage types, but not resistant to elemental damage types.
All right.
Here, I have a question. So we have an emote in our chat of Zill saying this is fine with fire around him. That this was made exactly for this moment.
That's true.
Exactly for this moment.
That's
Him with
true.
his fried
Nice.
turkey leg. It's good.
This is fine.
It's good. Well, I guess should we let people on the boat? Is
Whoa.
what's her name? Martha lady. I forget her name.
Bree.
Is Bree yelling at all of them, like whipping them off the boat or something? Or is she?
So as you make your way down to, by the way, welcome Connor, welcome.
Hi, Connor.
Hey guys.
Gone.
Your name is very strange.
Yeah, I don't know where that's from.
I don't know. I think that was all you.
I well, it says it up there. I don't remember what the context was, but that was all
Alright.
me.
All right.
Well,
Nice.
no one
I
can
like
see
it.
it on stream, but it's probably for the best.
If you know, you know.
You know, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you all make your way down these stairs, and probably about 2/3 of the way down, that's where the last of the Draken city is. Well, at least the citizenry that are down there are there, and you have to kind of scooch through them to make way. As you kind of observe the two boats that are there, so there's two ships that are there: Alomnia's Breath, which is the smaller of the two vessels, and then you have King Farron's ship of the Feshen Fey Elf ship that's on the other side of the dock. And with those being the case, it doesn't seem like any Draken are trying to force their way onto the boats. They just seem to be running down to escape, just in case the lava and the magma starts coming down the hill. They can make a quick escape into the water, as it were. But you squeeze through them. Most of the citizenry know of you at this point, and so you make way through, as Thornton says, make way, Captain of Alomnia's Breath," as you wade through the crowd. You get down to the docks, and Bree sees you from the side and says, "Oh, thank goodness you're alive in here!" And she pulls basically like the plank to get onto the ship down onto the dock for you and your crew, essentially. Everybody is here as you climb onto the boat that you know of. So you have the only last person that wouldn't have been there would be Horatius, who is currently with you. But everybody else who is a crew member of your ship has been staying on the ship just because it's so difficult to move around and walk inside Flandridge.
Is what's the young lad that Max convinced to join us from again? What's his name?
Kalik.
Kalik. Is Kalik there in his wheelchair welcoming people on?
He is. He has little stickers with like smiley faces on them. It's like, "Welcome to Alomnia's."
Did he take up smoking while he was?
Yeah.
Look at that smoke. Look at that smoke cloud that's over the city.
He's always been a smoker.
Can't hear you, Max, if you're talking. But yeah.
Yep.
No.
Still no.
Okay, yeah. But
Welcome to Alomnia's Breath. How are you?
No, as far as well, Yuki turns to Bree and says, "Well," and Yuki gives a brief explanation of all that went down. That basically not Feshen Fey. Yep,
I can hear that.
Okay, I don't know what
were you
just
saying?
happened. Sorry.
Okay, what were you saying?
Akalik's always been, or everyone in Flamberge is a smoker now.
Oh yeah, it's true. This is true. But Yuki asks, or basically gives Bree a rundown that the volcano erupted, and that's why all these people are here. And she says, "So, how many people are we able to fit on our ship at this point with all the upgrades?"
Bree looks around, and as far as like rooms go, she says, "Well, all of our rooms are taken up by our guests." As she looks at Horatius, and what's his bucket? Horatius and man, it's been a hot second since we've.
Oh, he's
Nalathir.
with us.
Nalathir's
Nalathir's with us still.
Nalathir's still on board.
Nice.
Remember, he's on a cruise.
Wow.
He's on a cruise of the inland, inland sea.
Yeah,
of
I
the
thought
Alomnia's Breath.
that cruise ended. I thought he
guy.
went home.
What an adventurous cruise for him.
Wow. Can you imagine your cruise ship getting like
Nalathir
under
looks
fire
up at the
from
burning
pirates?
city, and it seems like there's quite a bit of excitement everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Yep. Welcome aboard.
Bree, she looks and says, "Well, Draken tend to be denser than the vast majority of them. We maybe be able to take on 15 while still being able to be afloat." And as you look at your ship, you still are about like half of the ship's new hull. Remember, you got the reinforced hull that you have has been done. Basically, the front half of it. The back half has not been applied yet. And the blacksmith is still like a little ways from being done on the ship as well.
Oh man.
And so, with that being the case, there's all kinds of like construction materials that are on board the ship that are kind of taking up a little bit of the dock as well. prior to this happening, and so Bree says it might be a little bit difficult to let these Draken on if only we had a bigger ship. And she looks over to the Feshin Fae boat, who are actually actively letting people on at this point. You can see King Farron and Princess Mila ushering some Draken on board the ship.
First and foremost, Yuki turns to oh man, what's her name again? Bree, and says, "Excuse me, dense? I like to say big boned." And she
Bree
takes
looks
offense.
at Bree looks at you and says, "You can't tell me that those wings are more than half of your body weight."
I'm big boned. And she says, "Well, at the very least, we can let whatever can't fit on King Farron's ship onto our ship. Ideally, some fighters, just in case."
She looks around and she kind of like shrugs her shoulders and gives up, and she's like, "I do what I can on this ship, but nobody listens to me." As she just like goes and like goes to get some of the other crew members to help some of the Draken that are waiting onto the ship.
Bree, you're doing good. We appreciate you.
Yeah. As she goes about her business, she starts calling down and says, "Remy, we're gonna have to start cooking food for a lot more guests." And you hear a squeal of excitement for Remy down in the kitchen, as she is ready to start cooking feasts.
Nice. That's pretty good. Okay.
Horatius looks around, and he looks again drained as heck at each of you, and he says, "Well, there goes my studying," as he basically gestures up towards the central keep, which you can see the very tip of Flomberge Keep, like over kind of the Caldera edge there. And you need to tell me exactly what happened down underneath. And he looks more serious than he ever has been. He's usually been kind of aloof, and his social cues haven't normally been very good, but he seems pretty serious at this point as he talks to you.
Well, you know how we went underground in order to see what was going on with the flame pillar? Well, turns out that underneath the statue of the what are they called? The Serac?
The
What is it?
Halia statue.
The Halia.
Mhm.
Halia. Underneath the Halia was the lost city of Ashalanthil, or at least what was the lost city of Ashalanthil. And she goes into explaining basically all of the stuff that happened, including the mysterious secret room that they found that mysteriously transported them back in time, and from what we could deduce, allowed us to see the actual fall of Ashalanthil. As that was happening, including the guy who was writing the down in Voiden. And he's like, "What do you have to? Do you have anything that you have to add or comment on this fellow exactly?" Didn't seem like we got a ton of information from him, other than in the last hours of the fall of Ashalanthil, he was writing down all of the books that he had in Voiden, right, Zill? And she turns to Zill.
Mm-hmm.
It was of his Voiden, right? I'm trying to remember.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
He looks
Very unsettling.
he looks at you all with a bit of concern as he kind of pulls up like a barrel. You're towards the front of the ship at this point, as these Draken bodies seem to be kind of like almost like pushing you towards the front of the ship. As more and more you can hear the creak of their weight on the floorboards, and the crew's doing everything that they can to be able to space as many people out as possible. This doesn't even seem to be making a dent of the couple hundred Draken that are out there, but you can see more of them are filing onto the King Farron ship. But in kind of a hushed voice, he says, "Not many people have seen into the past, and if what you say is true..." He shakes his head for a moment and he says, "What you had witnessed was the creation of the Dark Elf race. Are you familiar with Dark Elves at all?"
Thordain is.
Thordain looks and he's just like, I think it's partially the tan that I've gotten being out here under the sun.
Well,
you can
I
see
know.
that he's kind of a little bit reserved about it, like not really willing to talk too much about it.
Did you get a new shower head filter?
Pish posh, what is a shower? You know what I'm
Well,
talking about, right?
Yuki says, well, we've met a few dark elves in our time. Like, when we first met each other, we came across a horrible dark elf named Ninfixa who had captured us all. We did happen to escape her clutches. We also came across one of our companions at the time, which I forget his name off the top of my head.
Gloof.
No.
No.
We had a companion that was a dark
Boogie.
elf too, if you remember. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he sacrificed himself. No, it wasn't Boogie. He was a Draken. He was just one of those randos like Gloof was, who was part of it. But he sacrificed himself in order for us to get out of the Subterran. And so we've met a few of them, but from what I know, they're not good beings per se.
He continues and he says, the fact that you've been able to survive encounters with them, they are a bad lot, and that tells me a lot about you.
Look, Solly, didn't you die from dark elves?
No, I died from refusing to fight someone in the
Yeah, the dark elves, right?
pits. I don't think they were dark elves, were they?
They were
just
dark elves, yeah.
oh. I guess so.
There you go.
I thought they were just like randos.
Well, they were randos, but they happen to be dark elves.
They were rando dark
I don't know.
elves.
There it is. I don't know.
He looks and he says, you've encountered them quite a bit, and one thing you do need to know is they are a cursed people. And he looks at Yuki a little bit different from the Draken curse. The Draken curse primarily carries an outward, a curse of outward appearance, and while there is a slightly darker tone to the skin of the dark elves, hence the reason for their name, their spirits have been sallowed. They have been corrupted to a degree. This is a spiritual curse that has been passed down throughout the generations of them. And in many cases, some say that dark elves even have immortality to them. They detest all things that are light. They detest the sun. They detest that which is of Alomnia. They detest the light. You see, at the fall of the Shalinthil, some say that their leader, he was an elf, and he ruled with an iron fist. He took the throne from the humans, and with that, he began to enslave everybody within the region. Draken, human. It was a terrible, terrible time. He was a high musician, or not musician, he was a high scholar and a magician of sorts. He often took, legend says, he often took his time to the books, studying and perverting. They say that he accessed some bit of dark magic. Something antithetical to the blessing of Alomnia, to the spirit of mana. And it corrupted his soul, and it was from him and through his followers that the dark elf race was created. A tainted folk. They began to worship the dark, the void. And it is their sole purpose to bring endless night to the realm of Everlast, serving their lord, Malvish, the source of their power, the source of their magical, perverted gifts.
Yuki turns to Thordain and says, are you sure you should have written down that stuff? That sounds like what you wrote down was very dangerous.
To who? Looks like
Thordain.
Oh, Thordain.
Thordain. Because remember, he was copying everything that was being written down that was on the desks and whatnot, finishing the magical book that was there.
Thordain says, oh, pish posh, I wasn't copying any void speech, anything. I was just copying down the ritual that Luxalia seems to have taken to memory. But I do have it in a book to restore mana to mana crystals.
It wasn't just the ritual, though. But weren't you finishing whatever was left out of that book?
Well, it seemed like that elf that we had encountered. It seemed that he hadn't quite finished what he was wanting to finish, but
No, what the papers were on the desk, weren't they? Isn't that why you were copying them? Because you were copying whatever wasn't finished within the journal?
Yes, indeed. And he begins to pull out the journal that you guys had actually like physically taken from that upper floor room, which was the one that was like in the past that you guys had seen. And he says, "Yes, indeed, I did start writing this down, but it seems more of like a list of things. I think I had mentioned that to you earlier. It doesn't seem to be anything more of like an ingredients list to a degree."
Interesting.
Nice. Wait, so you're saying there's no hope of redemption for Dark Elves?
Horatius kind of looks up at you, and he gives a kind of a soft smile, and he says, "There's hope for everyone, but unfortunately, in the case of the vast majority of Dark Elves, because of their aversion to the sun, they tend to live their lives brought up by the societies in which they come. The wicked societies of the Dark Elves, and even if there are wanderers down in the Subterran, they have been hardened by the rough conditions that are down there. Most of them have a unique magical ability to them, something that, unless taught how to basically hold it, it tends to corrupt them. Of almost void flow aspect to them. And he looks to you and he says, "I'm afraid I haven't been completely honest with you."
Yeah, we know.
He kind of laughs a little bit and he says, "My name is Horatius. That much is true. I am perhaps older than many living creatures here in Everlast, and that itself is also true. I was alive at the fall of my home, the Veiled Doom."
Wow.
Wait. Yuki looks to see if there's any horns on this guy.
Wait a second. Isn't Thordain a Veildune?
No.
Oh.
No,
Or
he's just a
they-
woodman elf.
Yuki's best friend in the world, though, was a Veildune.
You examine his head closely. I'm gonna have you make a wisdom skill check.
Is she like going through his hair? Like,
Picking through like lice.
yeah.
Oh, wisdom.
Excuse my friend, she's eccentric.
12.
12. You see the very tips of what look to be sawed-off horns.
Whoa. Well, that checks out. Sorry, I didn't mean to be intrusive. I had a friend, growing up, well, at least before I met the rest of my party here, who was a Veildune elf as well. I don't know much about his culture, but he did tell me that he was very saddened by the fall of his homeland, but he never really went into detail about it.
There are few of us left. But I was there when the Veildoon fell, at the end of the Second Age of Everlast, during the battles against the Dragon Emperor. I remember it vividly. I remember when Sigmar, along with Nymphixa, and he looks to you as if knowing that name had rung a bell. I remember when they set our forest ablaze. The land around us desecrated. We did everything that we could to fight back the invaders of the hordes of the Dragon Emperor. But I remember the eyes of Nymphixa, the wicked look that she gave me. And when most of my people were gone, most of them dead, she kept me alive. I didn't know why. She said she had plans for me. And that was the last that I knew of the light for some time. I had been held captive for around 200 years in my estimate, for by the time that I had re-emerged, much of life had changed on the continent of Everlast. Many cultures which I had never seen before, suddenly there. Many cities, many peoples, newly erected. And it was a time of peace. I knew at that moment that Alexander, the hero of hope, he gives a soft smile. He had led the free peoples of Everlast to victory against Sigmar, the Dragon Emperor. And more than that, I found that there was a new shared bond of peace. A renewed faith in Alomnia, which before had begun to fade. And it was the people of the continent of Adrulican far off to the west that seemed to have brought that back to the people of Everlast. I wanted to know everything that had changed after my escape.
Where did you escape from, if you don't mind me asking?
It was a terrible place. All I remember was arriving right out of a large crater, seeing my home, the Vale Dune, down below. All I remember was the tortured cries of people, my kin. Many of them had fallen silent over the years. I was the only one surviving. But all I remember is a large gate at the center. And at the very tip of this door frame, a void crystal. A prime void crystal sat.
Gross.
I hate to say, but I think we were in the same place when we escaped as well. So
The Dark
was
Elves-
it? I'm assuming.
No, so you guys had escaped from a place called Veshglun, which is what Nymphixa was. She was kind of like the lieutenant of that place. There's actually basically like a new leader of the Dark Elves now, but Nymphixa is kind of like a commander of one of like the outposts. Which your outpost was kind of more close. I guess if we pull up the map again. So he's talking specifically about this area of Technical
Okay.
Doom. But your outpost was probably somewhere closer to here. And so when you guys had appeared and re-emerged, you were here in basically the water. And then you were taken to Helgen Taste. After
That's
that.
right.
But
But there were there was also a void gate there though too, wasn't there? So there's multiple of these things.
there was not a
void
void
gate?
gate. No, there was not a void gate there. You guys did kind of like a side parallel quest without your actual characters that you guys did. Basically the void gate portion of it, but you guys in canon here were not a part of that.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm metagaming.
It's okay.
I'm metagaming. Oh yeah. Well, look, Yuki's just like, that is the fate of those here in Everlast. But what I have found, and hopefully it does give you some hope, is that we're still flourishing because of that victory from Alexander in Adrulican. Though that is to say, there still is evil here in this world. But Yuki finishes the story basically how they had gone and done all the little puzzle things. Luxalia had learned how to re-enchant mana crystals. The guy in the basement, like the crypt basement that we ran into, as well as all the souls, freeing all the souls of the people who had perished there trying to find the Earth Pillar, and then obviously talking about Nasrahim as well, including what we assume to be the spirit of Lolothi, leaving him, and then that's when the volcano erupted. So
He
all of that stuff.
He pauses at the moment where you say, like, Lalathi, what you assumed to be the spirit of Lalathi, and he, again, continues to look serious at you, and he says, so Nazrahim was keeping that demonic creature that you believe to be the spirit of Lalathi within him.
And what he said specifically was, you have doomed us all once it left. That's why I'm assuming it was a spirit such as Lalathi, considering the fact that even the great Nazrahim seems terrified at the fact that it had been loosed from him. So
I do remember there was a light that came out of the volcano prior to it erupting. I remember I was just strolling through Flomberge when it did happen. I just thought it was the beginning of the explosion, the beginning of the eruption. But I did see it. It fled to the east.
at the very least, hopefully it doesn't come back for the prime void crystal that's here. So, I mean, that is the information that we have here. But now what to do? And she looks around at all of the Draken, and doesn't look like we're going to be able to house all of these Drakens on both of our vessels. It seems like we're going to need to go find some help somewhere.
You do so. Well, what is your next course of action? What is everyone doing at this moment now that you're back on aboard Alamia's Breath? Horatius has given you what information he can. Bits to kind of fill in some of like his past and some of his details.
Pretty cool.
Nice.
Well,
Thank you for sharing, Horatius.
He nods and he says, but I tire now. And he looks over to the kind of half-constructed... actually, no, the rooms were finished. The separation of the rooms over where in the captain's quarters. And he says, but now I must rest.
Yuki gives him a swig of a reliable mana potion. So he heals 1d4 plus 1 mana charge.
He looks at you and his eyes kind of like widen. He like almost like, really? Are you serious? And as soon as he takes it and he drinks it, he perks up immediately. The bags immediately vanish from underneath his eyes as he still makes his way over towards the room, and he closes himself into the room next to the captain's quarters. It's not quite the captain's quarter room.
And Yuki gives a second swig to Luxalia. So it's 1d4 plus 1 if you want to heal.
Wow, thanks.
Mana. How do you heal mana? Just that? Or
I think like resting and
yeah,
stuff.
so basically your road rests and stuff. So you may want to save it because you guys are not in combat anymore and you're on Alamia's Breath.
Okay,
so you guys
look,
actually
Luxalia, I'd like to give this to you, but it seems we're out of combat and we're out of battle. Belbin, do you want some mana?
Rest and recover.
should we? Is a road rest like a night's sleep?
It's a night's sleep, but on Alamia's Breath, you have actually unlocked it as basically a sanctuary. So basically, you get a haven rest every time you're on board. So you can you just need to spend the night resting completely on that, and you get a full restock on everything.
So we spent all those herbs for nothing.
Well, not for nothing. We got full healing out of them. Belbin, what were you gonna say?
We're gonna heal anyway if we sleep.
I don't think I need a mana potion. I don't use mana much, but my mana's low.
You did last battle. It was.
I did. It was wild. Yeah. No, I'm fine. I'm sitting at 3. 3's good.
Oh. That's pretty good. Well, I guess Yuki's gonna go and help prepare spaces for Draken to sleep, even if it's up on deck. And
yeah, you begin to start preparing like kind of small little cots, blankets, all kinds of things that you can use in order to make
have
it
a hammock
for the night. Yeah, hammocks, things like that, just like, hung up in kind of like every place, like on board at the various floors. And that evening, Remy also prepares a large meal. It's a stew. It's a very delicious stew, but it's enough to feed the vast majority of people on the boat. You have around 54 additional Draken that are there, and basically every single movement you can hear kind of like the boat like swaying side to side and like the creaks of it, and that kind of goes into the night as this is just a very full deck. You look across and you see that King Farron and many of the Fesh and Fails have actually disembarked their ship and are just hanging out in the water around so they can allow more Draken to get on board the ship for a place to be able to stay tonight.
Are these people paying to stay on our ship?
Yuki turns the
Yes,
valve and
they're
says,
paying with their homes being burned
Yeah,
to
buy
the
up.
ground.
All I'm saying is they're going to be wrecking our ship, and last I checked, their food's not free.
We only have one toilet, that's right.
Their passengers should be paying 25.
Barnacle Bill says,
When you
"Aye,
so
the
it's
toilet
above
is
the
the
head."
sea.
No.
I've already showed a few of them." Or, sorry, a different person. "I've already showed a few of them."
Wow.
Drop the pants right over the edge, right? And lots of logs floating down there.
You've been working on your impressions there, haven't you? That's
Yes,
pretty
I've been
good.
spending quite a bit of time with Balthazar.
Pretty good.
I guess maybe that's something we think about, Belvin, at the end, but I don't know. I kind of feel bad. That's just me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alania will repay, or not. We shall give without counting the cost, Belvin.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
this
have
ship doesn't run on.
Belbin make an
Is there
influence skill
run-
check for me.
All right.
Thordane might be feeling it. Who knows?
I'm not feeling very influential, unfortunately. Let's see.
Maybe
Influence
fortunately.
7.
At the words of "these people should be paying," you kind of see out of the corner of your eye, Bree. She kind of like turns around like half hopingly, but as Yuki begins to be like, "No, these people are struggling." Like she kind of looks back a little like downcast. She's like, "Oh, geez, like more work for me."
Yeah, you don't think our staff is working harder dealing with how
We
many
pay
things?
them.
53 of these guys? Isn't that what?
We could pay them a little extra. Belbin, you've got some deep pockets, don't you?
Yeah, but you don't get this way by just giving it to all these people.
But here's the thing, Belbin. When you go to Landis Frame someday, will you be able to take all of that Everpiece with you?
I'm counting on it.
Belvin, we have much to learn.
All I'm saying is that these guys, our costs, what we do, we should be charging our passengers 25 EC a day, and they're freeloading. The staff alone
Until
are.
they can go home, yes. That is a refugee, in fact.
I'll have to start pushing people overboard. This is ridiculous. We're gonna sink the ship. We're all gonna be dead. They're not even paying.
Well, maybe we can look at it this way. We got a lot of these repairs and upgrades on our ships for free from King Nalgoric Ragheim. Maybe that is their payment. Is we housed 54 of them for a few days. Maybe. I'm just trying to think here.
We can take this up another day, but they're eating our food. They're
Remy seemed happy to cook for all of them.
yeah, but look at Bree. Look at Bree. Look at Bree.
Bree is hunched over, counting very meticulously all the ingredients that are still left, and being like,
She's about to have a nervous breakdown.
Maybe you should go
You're
console
taking
her.
years
and-
off her
Alania
life.
will
Think of
bless
her.
her greatly for it. In this
Oh, but
life
maybe you
or the
should be-
next.
Maybe you should be the one to go over there and console her. She seems to get along with you quite well.
I don't think you want that. If we start talking, we might start. The ship's about to get lighter. That's all I'll say.
Hey, we need to feed the hungry, Belbin.
We already have hungry people we can feed without these 50 people on here.
We'll just tell Barnacle Bill.
They're
not to
heavy.
take seconds. It's fine.
Yes.
If anyone deserves seconds, probably Barnacle Bill. That guy works his butt off.
Belvin, where else
He's
will
right,
they
though.
go?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
They don't need a home. We can just leave them on the dock. What's wrong with
As-
leaving them on the dock?
Do you remember what we fought to get here, Belvin?
Yeah, but they'll cool down. Leave them a bucket. They can put them out with a bucket.
Was a bucket enough for us?
We didn't have a bucket.
Belbin, if you were in their position, what would you like them to do?
I would want. Well, sorry.
Don't
can you
give
ask
me
your
a
question
smart
again?
answer. Give me
No,
an
can you
honest.
ask your I'd want to pick myself up by my bootstraps and keep going.
Go where?
Thornton says you don't
Where?
wear boots, Belden.
I do wear boots.
Oh, you do. Oh, that's right. These look nice and new.
They're new. Yeah, they just got them. They helped me with my RV and my DV.
Well, actually, they
So
look
I wear
quite old, but
But
new
new.
for
A
you.
recreational vehicle?
Actually, speaking of this, it doesn't have to be now, but at some point, Yuki wants to show the armor of that guy, whatever his name is, to Horatius.
Yeah, I had his
And
name
see if you
written down
recognize
here
him.
somewhere.
Yeah, also, we just got all the spoils of that.
Yeah,
place,
we did.
Like, calm down.
We're loaded.
We worked for that. We risked our
Ancient
life for
Yeah.
it.
That's true,
And
yeah.
they have been working hard too, but their home just burned to the ground.
How do you know they
Belton.
work hard? How do you know their homes burned?
Because I saw it happen, Belton.
I'm just
What
not
do you
convinced.
mean? None of these
Belton.
people are like just wanderers on the street that are like, oh, I got a free cruise. And even if they were, I wouldn't care.
As this conversation
Bill-
is happening, you hear like a large crack, and you hear from up above on the deck. You see actually like a foot go through the
No.
the deck, and you hear someone go, oh, oh, oops, and Tully comes running by with some basically like repair materials. He's like, out of my way, as he just like pushes through up the stairs to go repair the deck.
They're
Oh.
big boned. That's all.
They're all
Just
big
need to
boned. What are we
spread 'em
supposed
out.
to do? This.
Belbin,
We've
how
been trying to spread
singed
'em.
are you from our last encounter?
Not very.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another
doing all right.
question. Is there a nearby island that we could drop them off for the time being?
Maybe they could go hang with Smoldran.
What if they just sink us while we're trying to get them there?
What if they do?
What if we
We'll
leave some of
stay
these guys on the dock,
Together.
deliver some of them to some rando island where
Can Yuki
their island
fly?
is probably better than that?
Can Yuki fly over to the Fashion Face ship and ask King Farrand and Princess Mila what their intention to do with these Draken is? Can she do that? Because that way,
While this conversation,
uh,
while everyone's feasting and eating, you can
Yeah.
make your way over. So currently, the two of them are in the water. So you fly around for a bit until, actually, Princess Mila does call out to you, and they seem to be doing great. Just kind of like floating amongst the waves, just having conversation, drinking tea, doing the typical things
Jealous.
that Fashion Veils do.
whoa,
Uh,
in the water they're drinking
Plus-
tea?
Yep.
Whoa, how does that work?
They're just kind of floating and like drinking tea. They don't
Oh.
need floaty devices.
Yuki
They're adept
goes
swimmers.
grabs a floaty device and settles herself down into the water with them.
You grab one of
And-
grab one of those lifesavers and you go down.
Yeah, yeah, and puts it around her, and she's just floating there with the Fashion Fails. And she says, "So,
That's-
Sorry.
and at this point, since they're kind of private at this point with Mila and King Farrand, she kind of gives them the rundown because this is kind of the first time that they've really actually sat and talked about any of this, and picks their brain about the situation, but ultimately asks, "So, what is the plan with all these Draken? Lumney's breath can barely take having all of these, and Belbin and Bree are getting a little bit ornery about it."
King Farrand, he very matter-of-factly he says, well, the plan is by the morning to send an expedition up to the city to see how bad the damage is. Currently, there's very little magma that is pouring out of the top, and we need to do some excavation so the rock doesn't harden, so that much of the city isn't completely covered by molten rock for the rest of forever. So I know much of the Draken that are on board our ship will be planning to leave by the morning to try to excavate their homes out. But as far as long-term solutions go, I am quite curious because a lot of these people who lived on the lower levels of the city, it might take days or weeks in order for them to get back to their homes.
Well, that begs to differ too, because we might be on a time crunch as well. and she explains how Horatius had observed the light, because she'd explained this all to like the Nazrahim and all that kind of stuff, that it had gone east, and if it's going east, then in my opinion, it's probably going to Skyspire Island, meaning we probably have very limited time before we may be encountering some more trouble. So I think we should also start preparing for some defenses.
That is concerning as
Perhaps.
well.
Hmm.
They, based off of everything that we have known when we spoke as a council, you mentioned that Jackman Nobbs is after something, after the Prime Void Crystal, which is currently hidden in the lower levels of the Central Keep in Flomberge. It is protected by rock, molten rock, at this point, buried deep within the earth, unless we excavate it at some point. I think it is safe, but it seems to be important, meaning they could be coming this way. But if they are assisted by something otherworldly, something that may be a demon, something with great power, perhaps they have everything that they do need in order to make assault. But then he looks to you, he looks at Alamia's breath, he looks at his ship, and he says, by the time that I make my way back to Feshenfei, even at full speed, if they do come, Skyspire Island being much closer than Feshenfei, we may be too late. It seems that all of our defenses that we have are with what we have here, and also with what you have at Alamia's breath. Hakai Town has been razed to the ground. Flomberge is in shambles, and it seems that much of the defensive forces that we do have, we don't have much of a fighting force.
Do you know of any neighbors who perchance may be close by that, if we do have great haste, could potentially join us during this fight? I'm thinking, and she's really thinking about like people who are somewhat close, like Vosrukal. I know they're in the Woodland Realm in that area. They're not too far away. Do you think we could have potentially some allies that are nearby that we could alert?
The problem with Vosrukal is it's going right by Skyspire Island. We would have to be able to sneak through the forces of Jackman Nobbs. Clearly, they have an entire armada of ships at his command, and much of the eastern part of this island is, as far as the eye can see, pirate ships ready to make their siege.
I'm wondering, I'm trying to look at this map. Sorry, these ships are in the way. What is this city that's right here again? This was Fort Valenthil, right?
Oh yeah, Fort Valenthil is right here.
Yeah, what was this place?
Basically, so Helix is right here. Fort Valenthil is up here. Inside the mountains is Mithra Delve.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not remembering off the top of my head which.
Something here.
Yeah,
Can't remember
there's
off
like
the top of my
this
head.
is the Twilight Strand, and so there is definitely a town that's here. I don't remember off the top of my head, but basically, you guys are sitting here. Smoldran is on Terabay Island, but basically there's like no like this was the main population here on Aishan Island before all is said and done, essentially.
Where's Port Grandium?
Port Grandium is down here, so
Okay.
they could be another potentially close option, but they're just as far, if not further, than Feshenfei is,
Okay.
or maybe a little closer.
What about? I'm forgetting his name, but the captain of the boat. How we got here in the
Oh,
first
yeah.
place?
Mordecai?
Yeah,
Or
Yeah.
Gunter?
Mordecai's brother, Gunter. Yeah.
Yes.
Mordecai's
Doesn't
in
he
Port
have a big
Grandium.
old boat?
Oh, yeah, Gunter.
Hortensia?
Gunter does the
Yes.
Flortentia. Yep. Last you
Have we
heard,
heard any news from him?
well,
Yeah.
so last you heard about the Flortentia when you first came back to Flomberge is they had departed because they were, if you remember, they were down at Takai Town in the southern part of the island. They had departed about a week before the attack, potentially making their way back to Port Grandium at that point. Since his ship is the main ship in basically the Port Grandium like main fleet that they have there, so they do have like an entire like fleet of ships that they could potentially use to combat. But
Do we have like a pigeon or something that we could just send word?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I feel like maybe this is still when this was a D&D campaign. I kind of feel like we got something where we could like send a message to someone super far
Yeah,
away.
because didn't I?
No, that
I-
was to Monteblair about
Oh yeah, that's right.
about
We could
No,
send
no,
it. To
not Monteblair.
definitely
About
sent a-
Aldrag
Yeah.
We definitely sent a
to the Harrow
message
Gates.
to my, for lack of a better word, prioress, about the girl that we redeemed or helped find Alomnia, and we sent her that way. What's her name? Shayna? Shayla?
Oh,
Shay?
Shada, yeah.
Ada.
Yeah. Remember?
Yeah.
And then I talked
Yeah.
to her, and then she was like, "Yeah, send her our way," and then I did. Remember that?
Yeah, that was at the very beginning of this campaign, though. I'm trying to look at items that I have that we could potentially like send word to someone without
I
actually
know.
dropping
Thordain,
it.
he stammers up and he says, "Seems that most of these stories have one thing clear, and that is Aldrag Monteblair. Perhaps he can craft something for us to be able to transmit messages."
That'd be good.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Is he on the boat? I forgot.
Yeah, Aldrag is
Yeah.
because he can't.
Okay.
Like none of the people can be
With
like in the town.
Kokoro.
Yeah.
Kokoro could help excavate their houses. She would be great at it.
She would be good at it. She'd be really good
Lifting
at it.
giant boulders and just.
Well, so basically Yuki spits out all of her ideas. She even spits out the idea of potentially going to get, like, once we drop everyone off in the morning, going to get Smoldran or potentially try to treaty with Smoldran to help protect. Although we'd have to be careful about that as well. Yeah, I don't know. So she spits out all of those ideas to King Farrand and Princess Mila and sees if they have any reaction or any comment on them before she heads back to the ship.
We absolutely need to find some sort of help. Some sort of message would be able to be useful for flagging down people. And he looks back up at the island. If not, this island itself being on fire is a smoke signal enough that I'm sure ships would be able to see this for miles and miles. I don't know. It could track foe or friend of any kind back here to this island, but all I know is that somebody is coming. If we are to make a decision, we need to make it fast. First and foremost, we need to make sure that these Draken have some way to be able to go back to their homes. So we will be helping with not necessarily the excavation. My people aren't able to go that close to such hot flames and cooling magma, but we'll do what we can to be able to secure maybe the borders that are around here, maybe trying to find any ships that are within the near vicinity that we could flag down to be able to come help.
Yuki nods and basically says, well, we're going to have... If it's too hot for you, it might be too hot for us to go back to during the excavation. We do at some point need to...
Well, you do have those flame robes that I saw.
Oh, that will help?
Underneath.
Those
Yeah,
will
that'll
help?
absolutely
Okay,
You,
all right, never
you
mind.
wouldn't have been able to go down into the lost city of the Shalanthil without those, basically.
Without it, okay. Cool. Never mind then. And she says to them, well, I've seemed to be exhausted my flying. Can you help me doggy paddle back to...
Princess Mila does. She grabs the back and just begins kicking. And it's like a little row, like a motorboat. You go over back to the dock, and she helps you climb out.
It's like
and get
Dash
on board.
in The
Yeah.
Incredibles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Basically, Yuki climbs on like a wet dog and shakes off and relays the information to everyone, including to Aldrag Monteblair, seeing if he could potentially make some sort of device with what he has to be able
Curious,
to...
a transmission device. I do have some materials that I did purchase from the Drac that I might be able to do something with. Perhaps we can convert the Glyphex cannon to be able to, as far as using the mana crystals that are there, to be able to maybe tap into the electrical current frequencies. I mean, he's talking about all kinds of things that potentially would work. But I would need to know that wherever I'm sending this message to, they have similar technology, antenna, to be able to pick up such a transmission. Perhaps
Any antenna?
You would know better than us who would have that.
Hightower would
Yeah.
function well, but they are quite a bit away, almost an entire continent away, I would say.
About Rasukal or
Port
or
Grandium.
Helix or... Yeah, she starts naming all these cities.
perhaps Port Grandia might be the best. And see if I can do what I can to be able to potentially,
And he goes out and he unfurls basically the map that like Thordane had made of Port Grandium while they were there, maybe trying to figure out some place to be able to put. I need to have a place where people would be able to find it to be able to intercept such a thing. This might be difficult, but I will put my brain to the test, as he says as he goes and tries to do something.
Nice. Well, and then
So
that begs to
does-
differ.
Does
Go ahead,
Yuki
Belbin.
tell everything that?
Everything, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Yep, she
Belbin's pissed off that we don't even know the extent of the damage of the volcano and how many houses are left standing, and we're just housing these people.
Exactly. So. But
You're
she
acting like
tries
you're living in a
tries to
volcano is
calm
not
Belbin.
like a. Living in a volcano, it's already 1,000 degrees down there.
That's
They're
true.
living inside or outside. It doesn't matter. Let's just send them back up there.
She calls him Belbin. She says, "Well, let's give him till the morning at the very least. Let them get some rest tonight."
Why? There's no.
Because we already put up all the
difference in weather.
bugs.
We don't know how many more of those magma monsters there are.
Or
I
mag
know,
monsters.
Belbin. I know it's a problem, but don't worry. They'll only be here for tonight, and then they'll go back to doing their own work. We do have to go see
But
King
you hear a
Fern.
large creak.
Oh no!
I don't
It's
know.
groaning.
I don't know if Alamnia's breath can wait till the morning.
We just gotta spread 'em out.
Thordane pats the wall and he's like, I have faith in you.
Oh man. Oh well, I see your concerns are valid, Belbin, but what else can we do?
Do we have lifeboats?
I don't know.
I don't
We
think
got
we've
two,
ever
right? Two
Cared to have a
lifeboats.
lifeboat.
I think you might have one left. No, I think you lost your lifeboats in the Azale Doom attack.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
did.
in the crash.
Yeah, you guys had to
Probably a lot
basically
more
like
of those.
rebuild your boat pseudo like inside that cave, and so probably using whatever lumber that was there to just patch it up.
Are these Draken? Are they wearing armor or?
No,
or
they're
like,
just
are
like
they,
the common citizenry. They're like basically just
So
like
they don't.
common clothes.
So
There's nothing that they
basically-
can like leave off the ship to, like, unburden
Basically,
themselves?
loincloths, Belbin. Loincloths.
Now we're
I mean,
talking.
Some of
We
them
could
are
always
really
leave Belbin off the ship.
That's true.
That one's probably one of Belbin looks like probably two of the lightest people.
Yeah.
Well, with all the crap Belbin carries.
That's true. That's
Hey, I
true.
just
You
have
have
my
a
16-pound
16-pound
bowling ball,
bowling
but do
ball
not,
with
do not separate that from me. I'll put a hole
I'm
in
not
this ship
sug-
before.
I understand.
try
I
to
am
get
not
rid of the Rum of
suggesting we
Ages.
separate you from your stuff. I'm suggesting we separate you and your stuff from the ship.
Yes, yes. Of
I
course.
think there was a rather surly-looking Draken up there that could use a room for the night. He looks surly.
All right, Belvin will get off the ship.
No.
We're only joking, Belvin.
No.
It's okay. Don't worry.
All right, everyone, let's just take a breath, and we'll get through this.
Looking up,
basically-
Let's all go take a
Yuki,
nap.
Looking up-
Yuki. Okay,
looking up towards the volcano, what does Belvin see from the
Just
dock?
smoke, and you see basically like glowing of like embers and stuff from there. It's difficult. Like it would be difficult to breathe if you were like climbed much up further closer to there. Fortunately, down on the water's surface, the smoke hasn't quite drifted down to you. So while the air quality isn't great, like going up there would be a death sentence for anyone right now.
Do I see any mag monsters?
Yeah, mag monster. I like that. No, you don't see any mag monsters.
No, I don't see any.
You don't see any. No.
All right. Good enough. Carry on for a little
Yeah, the
bit.
death sentence wasn't good enough for Belvin. He needs the monster with
Yeah,
it.
right. Or Yuki basically just proposes a question. So tomorrow, since we're gonna be dropping the Draken off to go fix their city, and she again tells everyone basically what she was discussing with Mila and King Farrand, and it's just like, so what do we propose we do? I know Aldreg's potentially building some sort of communication device, but we also should probably look to go get some help in best we can. I mean, we're a small ship, but we're quick and nimble. Do you think there's any place we could go nearby in order to get some help? This is a question to everyone.
I don't know.
Everyone?
Yeah, everyone.
Oh,
She's asking
yeah.
what the plan is. Yeah.
Oh, we already decided that we were gonna drop them off, and then
Well, but what are we doing? We
we're
can't
gonna-
just sit here.
Hiking
No, I
up the
thought
mountain.
we were gonna help them like get back into their homes, and
we
or
doing that
go to
too?
the Sky Spire Island and try to
Oh boy, just
address
us.
the problem.
Just us. Looks like if you remember, all of the pirates in the Inland Strait are at Skysmire Island.
And we go in stealthily.
Oh
And
man.
Thornton says,
send
the
in
last I
Belbin."
remember, none of the pirates could even touch Zill in his armor.
Yeah,
I think we just send
exactly.
Zill in there, and
And Belbin.
their weapons will just
He's
tink off of his
sneaky.
armor.
An important thing to remember. Stealth is not our specialty.
Yeah.
Stealth is not your specialty. Belbin's quite good at it.
Yeah, that's
Fair
true.
point.
Thornton's not
Fair
bad at
point.
it either.
We
Belbin's
use
not on
you
the
as a
ship right
loud
now.
distraction because they can't touch you.
Wait, where's Belbin?
He's
Where did he go?
disembarked.
No, really?
And
I'm on the dock, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Belbin,
Alright.
get back on the ship.
Or I will give your room away to the ornery Draken that's breaking holes in the ship. Hopefully he doesn't break a hole in your bed.
And you know what? We can maybe if they're breaking holes in our ship, we can ask them to please leave.
You're too big boned.
No, only if it's like they're roughhousing. They need to be respectful of our ship.
Is
That
that how
shouldn't happen.
is that how Gold Draken celebrate? They roughhouse?
They
Maybe
wrestle.
one at a time they could experience WrestleMania, but not right now.
Yeah,
That was a great night for Pirate Night.
Oh man.
Partner
this is
Um,
not Heroxen.
While this is going on, Yuki actually wants to go to Horatius and show him the armor of the dude. I'm talking about.
Okay, so I have his name written down here, but I can't find it anywhere. They wouldn't write down that king's name.
Probably. Hold on.
King.
King Elf Man. King Dark Elf Man. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't write it down.
At the very
Who was
least, you
that?
can sell it for some money.
Which?
Malaciarch?
Yeah, it was like Lord Malaciarch.
Yep,
I have
that's
that.
his name. Malacia.
Yeah,
Let me write
I
that
didn't
down.
write it down.
I write things down occasionally.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And discusses Malaciarch with Horatius.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You make your way over to the basically to his quarters, and you go in, and you're like having to like wade through people, and he kind of has this larger room to himself as you enter. He says, Yuki, what can I do for you? Would you like some water? As he has a pitcher of water out on the.
Dude, does he have his boots off? Is he putting them on as I'm walking in?
No, he's currently taking them off
Oh my God.
you enter, and then he looks to you and he puts his boots back
Puts
on.
them back on. All right. Yep. This guy, a creature of habit, I guess. She says, "Well, no. I mean, I know you. We discussed that story about the beginning of the Dark Elves, and she actually starts unpacking all of the armor that she had gotten from like the full set. I believe this is actually including like the crown. That's part of it. I believe this is this elf's suit of armor itself. What do you have to say about it?"
He looks. He like gazes over it, and he says, "Now isn't this a fine piece? I've never seen something so resplendent, and it truly is. Even though it's been like buried like over time, it is not tarnished or anything. It is this beautiful piece of armor. It's got gems and stuff encrusted in it. The crown itself looks like you saw like King Alexander's crown, and it's just nothing compared to this thing. This thing is gaudy.
So you're telling me I chose correct in what to take?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But he looks at it and he says, well, "This does indeed look to belong to King Malaciarch." And he examines anything for like manic properties, and he can say, "I absolutely feel something within here." Unable to kind of diagnose exactly what enchantment this has, and he does both the crown and the set of armor, but it seems quite potent and quite powerful, indeed. It's his full set of plate armor,
Yeah.
as it is, and he says, "But do be careful. He's a dark elf, and many of the things that he does, just as his curse was passed down amongst his people and his followers, potentially a curse could have been passed into this armor and this crown. So do be careful not to wear it."
I wasn't intending on wearing it. However, is there any way that we can check for that? I know at least of one person who could potentially check, but he's currently not here.
I could
Well-
investigate, but it would take some time and quite a bit of my own energy. I have some expertise in this, you see. And he thinks like long and hard about basically the presence of basically the mana that he has dealt with, and I've had many a year here in Everlast, and I have spent much of the time since my freedom from Fexor Dune trying to figure out the wondrous gifts of Alomnia, particularly that involved in the spirit of mana. I potentially could look into this a little bit, but it is quite dangerous. Who knows what could potentially happen if something were to go wrong. That being said, and his eyes kind of like glance over at like the corner of your bag as he sees kind of the tip of what looks to be like a bow sticking out of your bag.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. What was it? The Ashalan, was that the Ashalanthil quiver? No.
No, it's the bow of Altulian.
Oh yeah, the bow. I don't know if I have. Oh, that's, I'm looking at Thordane. Bow of Altulian. Okay, yeah. Well, she hands that over to. Oh, you mean this? And she hands over the bow of Altulian.
With a large smile, he says, "It has been some time, my friend," as he like pulls it over like in his hand, looking at it with a bit of affection.
And Yuki looks at him like, "Do you happen to know about this? We were told it was an ancient treasure belonging to an ancient warrior. Are you the ancient warrior?"
Ouch, that hurts. Yes, I may be ancient, and I may be a warrior that has wielded this, but I'm not the only one.
That's freaking sweet. Well, we also have the bowstring for it. The only thing we're missing is the arrow. We do believe we know the location of that. However, that might come to us sooner than we had hoped to see.
So
And
you
she
haven't-
explains
so
the
you
whole.
have not recovered the arrow yet.
Well, she explains how when we were in Folden Rock, when the church was being under siege by the dead pirates, what was his name, Ragnis or something?
Ragnick.
Forget.
Ragnick.
That's close. That's pretty good off the top of my head. How that there was a big shiny, cool-looking arrow sticking out of him, and we're like, I have a feeling that's the arrow, but I also have the feeling we'll be seeing Ragnick sooner than we would anticipate. Especially considering if they do come in and attack, it seems that it is definitely the void that animates him.
He thinks for a moment and he says, "I can't believe after all of these years, Captain Ragnick still has it." And he basically, you said that he's like this undead. He's like, well, that solves one of our problems. We don't have to swim to the bottom of the ocean to reclaim this arrow. But I do think that you're right. It will be coming sooner than later. The properties of this bow are mysterious. Many an age, this bow has appeared to a specific chosen one, Ortulian, who is a Hullia of Alomnia. For
That's who
those
we
that
got this bow
are
from.
particularly fine of heart and spirit, those who Alomnia deems to be the one worthy to wield it, it is presented with such a bow. He appeared to me at one point, and as soon as I used it, Ragnick sunk to the bottom of the deep, and the next thing I knew, my bow was gone.
So what you're suggesting is that this bow could be a ultimate weapon of sorts when worse comes to worse. And she's trying to think of who Atulian appeared to that gave the bow. Who was it? Was it Thordane? I can't remember. Zill! Get proficient, buddy.
I forgot about that. I don't know how to use a bow.
Well, I'll discuss this with you later. Apparently, you're worthy. Train with Thornton.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. Well, that is good to know, but at the very least, we do not have the arrow quite yet. But it seems like you know Ragnik. And again, and she explains like the battle with him and how when he was defeated, he turned into some mysterious glowing orb and went back into the depths. So, do you know anything about this?
Now that I know Eclaas, I know that I can trust you. I know that you won't turn me in to... And he like breathes and like ponders for a moment as if still a little bit hesitant, but he says, "There's a reason Jackman Nobbs wants me. I was the last..."
Because of your good looks.
Yuki holds him really quick and she says, "Should this be something the rest of us should hear, or should I go get the rest of us before we continue this discussion? Maybe you could offer them some water."
He goes and he says, "I can get a few more glasses."
All right. He goes out of the ship
Him and his water.
grabs everyone who she can find.
Pelbin is currently
Belbin.
down
Except
on the
Belbin is
Belbin.
trying to climb the mountain.
Oh no.
we'll be back to you, Belbin.
And calls
Belbin have a
everyone.
death wish.
Just an adventure.
Well, you know, it's
Alright.
good. And as they're walking back, Yuki tells Zil, "By the way, Zil, I think you're gonna have to learn how to use a bow."
What do you mean by that?
Oh, you know, you can have that explained to you by our good friend Horatius. He seems
At
to know a
best,
lot.
I throw things, and even that's a challenge.
Well, it seems you are a chosen one, my dear friend. And she gives him a pat on the back.
Don't worry, Zil. I
Chosen-
think about
I've never been chosen
chosen
for anything in my life.
Well, you've been chosen by this, so.
That's not chosen by, is it Feanor or no?
Yeah, for to be your what's his bucket, yeah. The Sarek. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway.
we take everyone into the room with Horatius.
And as you approach, there are multiple glasses, even one for Belbin, but Belbin is not there. And
Well,
so
so sorry, y'all. I gotta get going.
You're
that was
good.
good. Thanks, bro.
Can we
Appreciate
take-
you for being
Can
here. You
we
sleep
take
well.
a quick
Have a good night,
break?
Cole.
Yeah, let's take
Okay.
a quick break before we go into a little bit of explanation for that. So with that, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, anyone, and we'll give it about
Except for
5.
me.
Yeah, except for you.
All right, take all.
Michael. We'll see you all
Good
in about
night.
5 minutes. At around the 35 mark, we'll all be back here, ready to go. Sounds good. All right.
See you guys.
See you, everybody.
Bye.
How's it going, everyone? I think we're good. We're back. We're good. Love it.
Yep.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and throw up Luxalia's icon. All right. And with that, it is late at night. Everybody is there, with the exception of Belbin. And he is currently, again, we'll be back to Belbin. We'll figure out what's going on there as he begins to ascend the mountain. Are you just, like, taking the stairs, or are you, like, climbing the side of the mountain? Zelda style.
What is right in front of me?
Just like a staircase that like ascends all the way to the top. It takes about 10 minutes to climb to the top of the Caldera, but it's like a stone staircase.
Yeah, I think I'll do the stairs.
Okay, cool. We'll be back to you on that. As
Oh,
you
boy.
do begin to climb your way to the top with all of your stuff in tow. Zil, Yuki, Thordane, and Luxalia all make their way into basically Horatius's room. And again, all these waters are set out with an additional one for Belbin, but he is not there. And as the door closes behind, you see that Horatius, he is holding the bow of Altuliant in his hands. Basically, like examining on the bed, almost as if he's like looking at an old friend, embracing an old friend.
This is what I mean, Zil, by you having to learn how to use this bow.
That
in
one.
particular. That one, exactly.
What? Why? Wait. Doesn't Thordane like normally use a bow?
I
but he
thought I
wasn't
was going to be
chosen.
the one to use this. He looks jealous.
Yes, but
I mean,
from...
I will give it to you, man.
I don't think that's your burden to give, Zil. Let's Horatius explain the situation to Zil.
He says, welcome, please have a seat, everybody, as he gestures everyone over to a spot at the table, and he takes his place kind of at the front of the table, and he puts the bow down, and he sees that it's been strung with the bow, and he says, now that everybody is here, as I was mentioning to Yuki, I think I need to be a little bit more honest with all of you about exactly my connection to such a bow. So, a few hundred years ago, I was the last one to be able to wield this, to be able to use this. I have been, since the release of Jackman Knobs, on the run. I was just enjoying my time on the seas until I heard of his release, and I have been on the run. He has been hunting me down, as I am the last living creature here in Everlast that has been known to wield this weapon. This is not a weapon of ultimate destruction, but it is a weapon of binding.
Of binding?
Indeed. Ragnik was a pirate menace that hundreds of years ago, long before your times, long before the time of even Jackman Knobs, and perhaps even you, Thordane, there was a group of thieves that sailed the seas. And they, it was a pirate by the name of Ragnik. He seemed to have been carrying something that, a wicked thing. And needless to say, this isn't new to any of you, but he was carrying a void crystal with him. Not a primary void crystal, I will say, but he was carrying something that was quite wicked indeed with him. A demon by the name of... Oh, what is its name?
It's been a while. I get it.
It's been a while. No, what was the freaking demon that was in Thavalia? I'm like...
Emeneth?
Emeneth. There we go. A demon by the name of Emeneth. And, it seemed to have been giving him and his crew supernaturally long life, searching for Leviathan in order to bring him back to life. And with that, I was a simple traveler out at sea when I stumbled upon an ancient temple, and within said temple, I was gifted, again, as a typical relic researcher as I had been in those days, I had stumbled upon what looks to be an altar, and I was given this bow. and every piece intact, including the arrow. And it's a binding arrow. And with that, I was to pierce the heart of Ragnik, and by doing so, seal him and Emaneth away for forever. That is, until he was somehow brought back to life by something greater than even Emaneth's power. And it is, from what I believe, the power of LaFonte that is out there somewhere. And thus, I believe our tales have seemed to have met to a certain point. I carry one aspect of it, and you carry another. You have met Emaneth, haven't you?
Yes, we did. In fact, it was actually we've mentioned his name before, but it was Jack, one of our colleagues, from what are they called now? The Shepherds of Helix. Yeah, Shepherds of Helix. Who was
When
the one
did
who
that
actually?
change?
Yeah,
It's recent.
because of your advice, Max. Because of your advice.
The Rangers
What?
Helix were confusing with the Ranger keyword.
Oh, okay. I'll take it.
But anyways, long story short, that he exercised it out of a Fashion Fae elf called Favalia, who was also a researcher. And what you say concurs with what we got from Favalia. The goal was to actually possess Zil in order to have 3 vessels in order to resurrect Leviathan out of Azaldun. In fact, however, it seems that we had come across the same shrine, and Zil here was actually the one who was presented the bow.
Were you indeed? As he examines
Yes.
you closely, and he takes the bow and you hold it in your hand, and offering it to you to hold in your hand.
Very hesitantly confused, okay.
Does his hair go like this, like Harry Potter touching his wand for the first time?
For the first time. He's like,
Do I go Super Saiyan?
he smiles at you and he says, "Do you feel it?"
Do I feel it?
You feel nothing.
Oh.
No. What am I supposed to be feeling?
He looks confused at you, and he kind of squints his eyes. He's like, "Surely you should be here." And he kind of helps you hold it, and he's like, "Touch the string here, and pretend like you're maybe aiming it, shooting it. Maybe that'll help with the connection."
Am I doing this right, Thordane?
You can't even pull this bowstring. It is rock solid.
Ooh.
Can you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?
No. I
Don't
got
tell me
nothing.
it's Elbin.
Were you the
Maybe we
only
should all
one?
take-
Were you the only one that this was presented to?
I wasn't the only one there.
Who else was there?
I
Any
can't
amongst
remember
your
off the top of
crew?
my head. Yuki was
Weren't
singing
you
"Dust
there,
in the
Luke?
Wind."
You there, Yuki?
I don't think so. Yuki can hold it, I
I don't
guess, and try.
remember.
It was just Zil
Maybe we
and
should
Belden.
pass it around. Oh
Oh,
no!
no.
It's Velvet.
Belbin was also there.
Oof.
He looks. He holds out his hand to take the bow back, and he says, "And where is your furry friend?"
Well, he was concerned about the well-being of the boat, so I jokingly said, maybe you should get off. And he did.
Thordane says, "We kicked him off the boat."
He was being a punk, which he does often.
He, Horatius looks at you and he kind of shakes his head as he says, "It's part of that's part of the part of solitude that I missed hijinks that being up with a company of travelers, and he just kind of laughs to himself as he takes the bow back, and he takes it in his hand and he easily pulls the drawstring back, and he says, "Once chosen, always chosen. Hence the reason I was being hunted down.
So why can't you just take it and help us?
I could potentially."
Just don't tell Belbin that he's chosen.
But more about this bow. So the arrow that I loosed inside Ragnik, it is a binding arrow. It suppresses demonic powers that are within it. Yet somehow the powers of Lolothi were able to resurrect this demonic ship, this undead vessel. The vessel that I was escaping. They wished Jackman Nobbs knew if he had me captive and he kept me under lock and key, there would be no way of stopping the plans of Emineth. And yet...
Well, isn't Emineth already stopped? Didn't we stop him by exercising him?
Perhaps you did.
Or did we just stop his current machinations?
Yeah, that's my question too.
That being said, this arrow that is within the chest of Ragnik, I have my theories about how to reclaim it. These are the living dead, after all. You said you fought them. You said you couldn't kill them. Simply their spirits returned back to the ship. Isn't that correct?
Unfortunately.
Yuki explains the ship that was in the harbor that night. At the, what was it called? I can't remember what that harbor's called. The Misty Harbor or something.
Yep.
Foggy Bay.
Foggy Bay.
Is Foggy Bay, is that the same ship that Ragnik was on? The Ragnik ship?
So you explain it in like deep detail. I'm gonna actually have you make a knowledge skill check for me. This is specific like details about like the historical remembrance of it.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Knowledge. Oh, 13.
13. Yep. To the sounds of it, that sounds exactly like the ship that was sunken all those years ago.
Well, we set it on fire. Luxali and I did. I don't know if that necessarily does anything to it. It did set ablaze when we did.
I've only seen that ship move by the light of the moon. It seems that whatever you do to it during the day, it remanifests into something spectral. I do, if what I believe to be true is true, the void crystal that it keeps Emineth's spirit attached here to Everlast seems to be on board that ship.
Oh, that's why it was freaking us out. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
And its animating spirit seems to be what is keeping those pirates alive and walking.
Lovely.
We need to reclaim that arrow. I do believe that Ragnik is a husk of himself. That is until Emineth repossesses. And I do think by reclaiming that arrow, we could use it to our advantage. To not bind Emineth per se, but to bind Lolothi.
Oh.
Lolothi is a powerful creature. He is not just a demon such as Emineth. He is an archdemon.
We've
Malvish,
fought the like before.
he shakes his head. Yes, and so I've heard. Eclaas Eeas, the Senders, the destroyers of Burbledau.
That's us?
I think our paths have crossed for a reason. Or do you think that there is some sort of providence that is here at play? You didn't simply stumble upon that great sea beast. You didn't simply find yourself shipwrecked in a cave. You didn't simply wander upon this altar. You didn't simply find yourselves in black market sales of wicked goods. You didn't simply find Thavalia in her possessed form. You have been guided to this moment, and we have been brought to each other, I think, for a reason. Two pieces of a puzzle to bring together. I do think that our purposes were to meet. I know I have been kept alive strangely. I have far outlived that of my kin, far more than what is expected to me. That is in fact what I have been searching for, the purpose of this elongated life. I thought it was to find that purpose, and it seems that you are that purpose. It is our destiny that we have come together to bind Lolothi. But there is a matter of removing that arrow.
And that's exactly what we don't know how to do, because during that battle with Ragnik at the cathedral on Folden Rock, whenever we attempted to remove it physically, it stayed put. And in fact, it was almost a beacon of sorts. Whenever we would attack it, that was the only thing that seemed to do any physical sort of damage to Ragnik itself. So
How do you
How
mean?
to act-
Explain to me in vivid detail everything
she
that
does.
you remember from that.
She does, but basically, long story short, I remembered part of the battle, and with Yuki specifically, like everything was very, very resistant because they were just ghosts, basically. But whenever the arrow itself would be hit with a manic attack, it would do extra damage to it. But whenever we tried to pull it out, we were unable to actually like pull it out because Yuki tried a few times.
Tell
to
me,
actually pull the
Yuki,
arrow.
was there anything specific about the manic attacks that you were using? Any specific elements or any mana?
Luxalia. I think it was just Luxalia shooting light type magic.
light mana to smack everything that is dead and dark.
So.
And what exactly happened during this?
If I recall, it just did more damage.
Did it? Do you remember, was there any physical signs, anything visible that you saw that would change based off of doing damage via light attacks?
Did they change color? I can't remember. They were blue, kind of, or green. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't remember. It's been so long.
Make a knowledge skill check for me.
Oh, man. Oh, that's good. 13 plus. Knowledge, you said? Dirty 16.
3016. You remember specifically that every time Luxalia unleashed a light mana attack at it, so whenever light mana was casted at it, the arrow seemed to absorb the attack. It didn't necessarily do more damage, but the arrow itself would grow brighter when that did happen.
There we go. So yeah, that's what I observed. I just assumed it was doing more damage to it, but I can't remember necessarily.
That's curious. This arrow, prior to shooting it with or imbuing it with light mana, how did it look prior? Just like a normal arrow sticking out of it. Nothing any signs of it being special in any way.
No, it seemed special, I think. It seemed to glow slightly, right, Sil? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Did it glow?
I think it did.
I think it did.
it had a little bit of a shimmer to it.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. That's what she explains. Yeah.
Very scientific. The shimmer.
The shimmer.
Every time I wielded such an arrow, it always shone in a brilliant radiance. Quite troublesome trying to hide my ship in the dark when the time came. But once I got my clear shot, it was always radiant. Perhaps that is the key to it. Perhaps we need to imbue it with enough mana, light mana, in order to retrieve it in a way. Perhaps it has locked itself into this body until such a thing has happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that is
So
to
maybe
say,
just hit it with more light mana, I guess.
we need to figure out how to remove the mana crystal or the void crystal from that ship. Void crystals are... There are ways to be able to destroy them, particularly lesser void crystals such as those. It's the prime void crystals that are near indestructible, at least from what I have found. This is why they have typically been hidden over the years, hidden in time,
Well, that brings to mind another question. Is I know with the Prime Void Crystal, whenever someone got near it, misery seemed to take over them. Would the same exact thing happen with just a normal Void Crystal?
Indeed.
How are we to destroy it if we can't even touch it?
Wherever void flows, there is a corrupting essence that is within it, meaning only creatures of absolute virtue have the ability to do it, but it does always come at a price, which is why it is never something that you should ask someone lightly to do.
Speaking of which, I wonder how what's his name? Who's on the ship? Monteblair is doing since he touched that Prime Void Crystal. Poor fellow.
He did.
Well,
He had
Looks-
gloves on, but he definitely
did.
touched it.
Looks solid. Do you want to touch it? I know you went into that room and it was very scary on the ship.
I don't know what I want to do. I seem to have been not, what's the best way to explain it? I feel like I'm not currently present at the moment, so I can't quite say.
I'll tell you though, that was scary, that ship. So, quick question, just like to remember. So when we went into like the captain's quarters in the ship, we saw, what was it, a book that was at the end that we tried to close?
There was a
Was
book
it a
at
book?
the yes, there was a book at the end that was closed, but it's basically like a desk that was there, and so all you were able to do was make your way there. But remember, there was like blue flames that basically lit the
Yeah.
way there, and they had like a void in essence to them as you like got deeper and deeper into it. So
Yeah, and what did we end up doing with it? I can't, because we did something.
you just lit it
in
on
there.
fire.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, you just ignited that
So
shit.
Obviously.
Apparently, fire does not destroy Prime Void or Void Crystals. Good to know.
It takes a act of something that is extremely holy, something that is in stark contrast. Fire itself does have the ability to create and to destroy, but when it comes to the void, there's much fire in the void as well.
Okay. Well, do you have any advice on how to destroy these things from what you know from your years of scholarly endeavors?
Yes, I do. There is a group of those that exist. There is a order per se. There's an
Order of
there's an ancient text known to very few, an ancient script that is imbued with holiness, holy words that have the ability to shatter these crystals.
Does it look like this? And Zil just kind of like pulls his glove back.
He squints his eyes at it as he makes his way closer, and he says, "By all that is good in Alomnia, what is this?"
He's got some tattoos. He's just, you know.
They're brands more than tattoos. I have 4 of them. Four sets of them. Some here, and then he pulls down his wrist, and I think, I have them written down. It's like hands, wrists, collarbones, and then the others are on his thighs. So those ones are not easily shown.
Pulled down his pants, I guess.
This is
Show me your butt cheeks.
Top of his drawers.
this is very curious indeed, Zil. It seems that you are in some way related to the Rune Lords.
Is this the first time I've heard this?
This is the first time you've heard this.
Ooh.
In years of my study and wanderings about, there is few texts that have existed that I have laid my eyes upon discussing the Rune Lords. They are keepers of the sacred order of mana. They have a hidden language. Their power comes in word, a holy language, an ancient language, that which nobody knows except for a rare few. And it is simply by their power that the void crystals can be destroyed. They say
Well,
that
I
there
at least
are
know
rune
these 4 words.
They say that there are, and as he continues to examine like them around you, the sigils, he continues to explain. He says, they say that there are rune lords that are among us, but void crystals haven't been discovered since before the wars of the Dragon Emperor. Who would have thought that there would be one right in front of me? Tell me, Zil, have you ever heard anything? Have you ever felt a connection to Alomnia, to the void, that would warrant any concern to you?
Well, not too long ago, I discovered I can understand the language of the void. I can speak it, I can read it, I can hear it.
Hold
And
on, and he
I've
stops
been-
you for a moment and he says, you tell me you can speak it, yet you are still here with us, here at Saint of Mind.
Yes.
There's a
I-
perversion to the void speech, something that corrupts the soul with every single word that is spoken of it. It is a wicked language, an evil language, a corrupted language. Yet you're still here with
That
us.
is what High Priest Godfried told me.
That is curious.
Yet here I am. And it seems to come from wherever these do.
Zil, I am no expert on the matter. I have only come across mere rumors, mere fragments of information on the Rune Lords. But if what you say is true, then you are living proof that these Rune Lords do exist. I think the key to destroying these void crystals does lie with you.
Okay. I also know there's just a sense I get when, like, how far are we from the keep? Like, distance.
Definitely within the mile of it for sure.
I can still feel that prime void crystal. I know exactly where it is. Normally it's not that accurate, but having been close to it and knowing where it was taken, I can still feel it.
How do you sleep?
And this,
How do you eat? How do you stay sane of mind? This is like all like baffling him, like at like the sound of it.
well, I haven't had a chance to sleep since coming close to that void crystal, so I'll let you know tomorrow on that one. But it's not something I feel. I mean, other than since we've found that void crystal, we haven't gotten far enough away from it. But up until that, it's never been constant enough.
I do
But
not
anytime
envy you
we're
in the powers
close-
that I do not envy you in the powers that you hold, Zil. This is a burden beyond anything. But if you do belong to this order of Rune Lords, perhaps we do have hope. All I know is by destroying this void crystal, the demons, they cannot manifest properly here in Everlast. They rely on the power of the void in order to do so.
How does this bring hope that this all started with a smithing accident?
Alomnia acts in strange ways, doesn't it? I do
My
find
hands
that
were burned in a forge, and these were on.
he looks to you with partial pity in his eyes, but there's kind of almost this renewed hope, this vigor, this kind of ancient like look in his eyes. Seems to look younger almost to a degree. It is definitely a glimmer of hope that is there. And he says, you've been through a lot. You all have been through a lot. The pain that you have experienced, the pain that you have felt. Tell me, when you fought Burbledow those months ago, did you encounter his void crystal?
I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
As long as these void crystals remain, there's always the potential for these demons to reemerge. And up until the rumors of these Rune Lords, these crystals were unable to be destroyed, unable to be fractured. I do find that with your power, Zil, with the power of the Rune Lords, if there are more of them out there, we could use them to sever the connection between these demons and the world of Everlast forever. This is a very rare and powerful gift that you have, Zil.
Maybe tomorrow, Zil.
Where does it come from?
All I know is that the only thing that can dispel evil, that can dispel the void, is that which is gifted from Alomnia. I'd want to think that this is a holy power. This is probably not unlike that which most adventurers are gifted with. Powers from on high. We have been tasked with a beautiful purpose. A purpose that we don't always search for. It is merely thrust upon us. What is most important, though, is what do we do with those powers once we are given to us? Because there are those who use it for good. But there is just as many, if not more, that are corrupted by it. They fall away from the graces of Alomnia, and they go to the realms of darkness. Alomnia's power leaves them, and what replaces that void is the power of the void. Seems that Alomnia's power has not left you. You do not feel a call, a desire for this void, do you?
No, it freaks me out.
Hold on to that. Oh, roll a d16. I'm gonna
roll
a
that
D16.
D16.
Oh, it's been a while.
Oh,
Okay, let's see.
Tommy. Oh, no.
D16.
Long time no see.
9.
9.
Nice.
pretty good.
Pretty good. Thank you, Kami. I appreciate it. But anyways, that is what he says to
So,
you.
Zil, do you think if that's the case, maybe we should visit this prime void crystal tomorrow and see if there's anything you can do about it? Perchance? That could give us quite a leg up if Lothy does decide to come back with vengeance.
I'm certainly willing to try, but I don't even know what to try.
You could use that really cool voice thing you do and go like, wah! And do that thing. I've seen it lots in battle, and it hurts. I've been hit by it a time or two.
I guess. But
Well, we didn't know you even had this power, so isn't that hopeful that you have the potential, if you are part of this group of people who has this power to destroy the void? I think that's wonderful. I think that's great, Zil. And she gives him a pat on the back.
the signs definitely seem to be pointing that way.
Either way, I think that it's something that you should be proud of, Zil, even if it is a little scary. And so I guess, does that set what we're going to be doing tomorrow? Going back to the island to, at the very least, check in on King Nagor Kragheim and perchance even see this void crystal for what it is?
Definitely.
I think a few of us should go.
Definitely Horatius. He says, it's like, well, a step in the right direction, I think. I've spent many a year doing research, and more information can't hurt.
It's true. It's true. And that leaves me with this, and she hands him the set of armor. If you would be willing to decipher what properties this has, of course, be careful as much as you can. I'd be willing to provide the mana potion in order to be able to decipher this. I think it's important.
I will busy myself with this. In the meantime, we need to make sure we keep eyes on this ship. If we are to be attacked and this armor were to fall into the wrong hands, it may spell doom for many a people. This has strangely powerful qualities coming from it that I can feel wafting over me. It's quite valuable, and in the wrong hands, quite deadly.
Well, sounds like you're the man for the job, Horatius.
And with
If-
that... Oh, no, go ahead, Zil.
I was just say, if if I'm going to go try to tackle a void crystal, I need a nap.
That's a good idea. I think we all do. It's been a long day, hasn't it?
Huzzah! I do think that that's the
Like
best thing we could
3
do,
months.
Thordain says, as he says, if you need help sleeping from the void inflow, I have a little bit of the rum of ages that'll help you go to sleep.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I might be tired enough without.
That's true. You gotta rest those turkey legs of yours. You gotta let my medicine work.
Yes, I do.
And with that, we're going to actually go over to Belbin. So, Belbin, as you begin to climb your way up these stairs, it becomes harder and harder for you to breathe. You look back down and you see that the lights are on in both ships. You see there are many joyous laughters of the elves that are in the water as they are enjoying themselves. And you seem to have slipped under kind of the cover of night here as you begin to climb up and up. I'm going to have you make a fortitude survival check as you begin to... A normal climb that doesn't really have seemed to gas you before. You start to feel it little by little as you get closer to the crater top.
Alrighty. Fortitude 14.
14. You're able to go through it a little bit. The hood and the scarf that you have around your neck, you begin to cover your mouth as best as you can so that the smoke doesn't go into your lungs. As you make your way towards the top of this crater, what is in your mind? What are you thinking? What's going on?
I'm keeping vigilant for anybody who might be trying to attack me, trying to sneak up, trying to keep my head on a swivel, sort of a thing. But also just looking down in the crater to see what the damage might look like, or just in general what the damage the volcano's done.
I'm gonna have you make a wisdom skill check for me.
Alrighty, wisdom. Natural 1 on wisdom for a 3.
All seems quiet, so much so that it's almost eerie. You've experienced this kind of quiet before. It's the quiet of suffering. It's the quiet of death. There is definitely air of hopelessness that hangs in the air, and your mind begins to cloud a little bit to times where this has happened to you before, specifically in your kind of past life. You remember one particular moment when you remember this quiet. It was a dark evening. You were assigned a mission, one specifically where there was this merchant who was selling all kinds of illegal weapons. And your duty was to bring them to justice, dead or alive. You remember looking down at your hands, your claws out, the blood that is in your hands, and the silence of the man that was below you. And waves of memory and dread begin to fill you. This is something that, it is traumatic to a degree, but it seems to have been a quiet that almost becomes a part of you. You feel almost at peace in this quiet, but you still feel this sense of dread. It's something that you've been dealing with for quite some time, and it's only been a few moments, a few opportunities where this seems to have been lifted by something that is greater, a feeling that is warm. But this, while it's still hot here, it is altogether a cold, chilling feeling. You reach the crater's top, and as you gaze down into this caldera, basically this ancient city, you see that there are embers. There's some lava flow that is still there, kind of all around the top, but you see basically a city aglow, much of it buried underneath hot magma. You see that there is a few homes that are still intact on the higher levels, and the main basically spire of the tower that where the keep is. You see that there are lights on inside. You see movement in those, with the sight that there are people that are there and there are people that are alive. Windows seem to be shut tight, as if not to let the toxic gas inside. And you see a number of people inside. There is life here. But as you look out beyond the volcano crater, you see that off in the far distance, as if almost kind of like a firework from its tail, like one of those like snake fireworks. You see that much of the jungle has been burnt where it is, and the flames themselves have carried all the way down to the south of the island. And you can see that new smoke is rising from down south. Much of the forest and the jungle that you see before you is burnt and disintegrated to a crisp. There is some walkable room around the city. You have to be careful if you decide to go down in. There's some solid surfaces, but it's difficult to tell by the dark of the night what's solid and what's not.
The feeling I have, is that all the interior feeling, or can I tell if there's an exterior like pressure being pushed on?
It's 100% interior. Like you've almost kind of like lost yourself into the thought.
Right. Okay. And if I were to go down into the city, could I tell how easily it would be to either defend myself, or could I tell, like, will the smoke kind of pass me out at some point?
At some point, basically, these checks, I'm going to have you continue to make fortitude survival checks, and they're going to get more difficult every time I have you, the longer you stay in there.
Okay.
And then you'll start gaining points of weariness once those fail, to the point where you'll die eventually if you fail enough of them.
Right. And then the people that I see inside the keep, they don't look like they're in trouble.
Not per se, other than just the immediate danger of the situation, but you don't see, like, you don't hear, like, swords clanging, you don't hear, like combat ensuing. It seems like whatever people are there, they're held up inside of this keep until the noxious gases lift.
Okay, and can I tell how many people, roughly? Like, is it a lot? Is it a little? Is it...
Yeah, make a knowledge skill check for me.
Knowledge 4.
It seems like a decent amount of people, but it's difficult to tell in the shadows of the windows. There's definitely flames on inside, candles being there. Probably would assume around the ballpark of like 40 to 60 from what you can tell. But as far as you know, like the population of Flomberge is much more than just like the 300 that are down at the ships and like the 50 or 60 there. So either there's other people that are there somewhere, or there's dead people or people that are buried. You have no idea where the rest of these people are.
Okay. And how do I feel? Like, do I feel like I would be able to go down and investigate before succumbing? Like,
I mean, you're feeling good right now. You passed your first check, so you don't feel like I would say you're solid for just a little bit, but you could definitely tell it's a very toxic gas that is here. So you got to be quick if you're going to do something here.
Okay. And how close is the nearest building for me to like
So in this kind of upper layer of the city, there's like probably a ring of about 10 buildings that are up here that were not covered in lava, that are like still technically habitable if not for the noxious gas. And then like a little bit of like the layer on the second layer, but probably they're within easy 1 or 2 minute walk from you. The city's pretty much built like on the side of this crater, so it's kind of like going down, but at a certain point it does level off where like the magma flow has kind of stagnated.
All right, I'll go to the closest building and check it out, see if anyone's inside.
As you go in, you see that it is completely empty, and it looks like the people here that have left in a rush. Like pots have been that were on their hearth have been spilled over, food on the floor. Everything is as if it had just been left. Completely abandoned, like a ghost town.
Okay. I'll go one house further and check that out.
As you continue to go house by house, you see that it's more or less the same stuff. There are no people that are left here. Chances are the people that were in this part of the city are some of those that were able to evacuate down to the sea.
Okay. Anything else I want to check out? The volcano, does it look like the volcano's still spewing magma?
First and
Like
foremost, I'm going to have you make another fortitude survival check for me.
Alrighty. Fortitude, that's a 13.
13. You pass it. as you continue to make your way kind of further towards the kind of eastern edge of the city, closer to where the volcano is, you see that there are like small streams of magma that are still falling down the side of it, but much of the like violent activity is completely ceased. Actually, so much to a point where this magma that's coming out seemed to kind of fall more where like the ditches where the rivers were made, and so it's kind of falling like underneath like those walkways on the higher levels. Obviously, the places that are completely covered, but it's not like violent volcanic activity. And I'm gonna actually have you, so you listen close at what is there around you. I'm gonna have you make another wisdom skill check for me.
Okay. $15.
15. You hear barely audible the sound of labored breathing.
In like the house no, I left the house. I'm looking.
It's an ambient sound in the general vicinity of where you are. So
Okay.
if I pull, I don't think I have the map of Longbridge here, but like let's say for example you've made your way on this image, like this area right here is where the bridge is. You've made your way kind of back and around to this area, close to where the volcano is as it rises up here. In this general area, you're hearing the sound of breathing, and everything basically below like this level is completely hardened under rock.
Okay. I will search for where I hear the breathing come from.
As you wander around, you hear that it does seem to be coming from within the ground. It's not something that is ambient outside, but you do hear labored breathing coming from around. It's very, very faint. The one thing is, the couple of things potentially come into your mind. Could it be Nazrahim that's still recovering in the volcano? He was a very large dragon, and his breath could carry out here, potentially. It is quiet enough and dark enough where that's a potential thing. Or probably more likely the sound of somebody injured or trapped down beneath the magma flow. They found some kind of pocket to be able to escape into.
I'll try to yell to them and be like, "Hello, is anyone down there?"
Make an influence skill check for me.
Influence 10.
As you call out, the breathing grows louder and you hear a faint, "Hello? Somebody there?"
Belbin will take out one of his daggers and start like stabbing the ground where he hears the voice, see if he can't like break open the ground, I guess.
I'm gonna have you make an endurance skill check for me as you continue to chip away at this. It's pretty malleable rock at this point. It hasn't completely hardened, so it doesn't just completely break your dagger as you go into it, but it's definitely kind of like a sludgy thing. And as you continue to go deeper and deeper into this rock, you notice that your dagger is beginning to heat up to a degree as you go in deeper into it.
Okay. It was a nat 16.
You're able to break out enough chunk for basically a hand grip in it. It looks like you have cracked enough of basically like a circle around that if you were able to get down there and use your legs, you could push off this rock, as it were, if you wish to do so. Basically a large boulder. You get down there and you give a large heave. I'm going to have you make a fortitude survival check for your breathing.
Ooh, that's a good one. Let's see. 21.
You pass. This rock comes clattering down into the caldera as it reveals what looks to be the top of a chimney. And inside of this chimney, you hear a voice coming from inside, now clearer than ever. I'm here.
All right, Belbin's going down the chimney.
As Santa-like as
Santa
possible.
style. Yeah, Santa style.
Belvin jumps down into the chimney, and you see inside of this basically area, inside of this little house, sealed off the doors, sealed off the windows with absolutely everything that they possibly could. You see a family of 3 stuck in here. It seems that the youngest, the child that's here, is unconscious, and the husband and wife Draken that are here too are barely conscious, almost as if have either run out of oxygen or they've been injured, but it's difficult to tell in the dark.
And just so I'm clear, the house is basically all under.
It's completely under, so it's like that first, like the top layer of the rock that has been covered.
Okay. I'll say to them, I'm going to grab your kid. I'll come back for you in a sec. And I'll grab the little kid that's unconscious and climb up the chimney and try to get him out.
The wife says, "Thank you. Who are you? Who are you?" Because they can't really see, like, in the dark or anything that's going. It's like pitch black down here.
I'll just say, I'm with Eclaas. Leave it at that if they survive.
Thank you. Thank you. As you begin to climb up the chimney, this Draken child is large for a child, but limp in your hands as you begin to carry him up the chimney. If you're looking at the sides of this chimney, it would be a struggle to get these two Draken out of here, to be honest, at this point. They're just too broad to climb out of this chimney. And as you get to the top, you see that this kid is unconscious kind of in the moonlight. And again, much of it has been obscured by the ashes and the smog that's there. And his very, very shallow breaths, almost as if now being exposed to this toxic gas seems to be, to a degree, suffocating the child.
Well, Belvin's going to make haste and descend the mountain until you get to a point where it seems like he'd be able to breathe.
Eventually, about halfway down the mountainside, you can tell the child is able to catch its breath.
Okay, now do I go back or not? I have a grappling hook. If I put a grappling hook, would that help me get the parents out?
Potentially. The problem for them is, like, they're pretty broad, so fitting up the chimney would be a tight squeeze, even if they were able to climb up. You may be able to get the mother out, but the father probably wouldn't be able to go up.
And then there's no other way out of the house.
No,
right?
It's completely, like, stone all around it.
Okay. Belvin will hide this little boy just in case anything wanders past, somewhat, and then go back to try to get the mom.
You do so, and you can definitely tell they're very weak at this point. It seems like as if, like, this gas is rising, so it's not necessarily going down into the chimney. So this pocket of air is quickly being diminished, however, as it's escaping into the air up above. And you go down and you see that both of them are there, and the husband, he does call to you. He's like, "You're back. Our son. Is he safe?"
He'll make it. He's safe.
Thank you. And the wife, she kind of hobbles over to you and she says, "Eclaas, thank you." And she kind of begins to, like, partially pass out as like very lightheaded as she wanders over to where you are at.
All right, up to Daisy. Using the grappling hook. I would have set the grappling hook before going down the chimney.
Yeah,
so
no
I don't
worries.
have to just climb. Yeah.
I'm going to have you make a physical skill check as you lift this female Draken out of the top of this house.
Physical, you said?
Physical.
11.
You are just able to get her up over the lip, but I'm going to have you make a fortitude skill check, and this is going to be at despair.
Alrighty. Fortitude 19.
19.
Ooh.
You're able.
It would have been a nat 16 without it, but
you're able to still keep somewhat energy. You can definitely tell, like, over time, it's slowing down, and it's still getting harder to do what you are doing. You basically, you can refresh this by taking some time out of this noxious gas, like a little bit of time. It can't just be, okay, I've dipped out and come back in, to kind of reset that. But you're able to get her out and lead her down to where her son is, and she grasps her son, who is just kind of starting to come back around with the oxygen in his lungs, and he goes, "Mommy," and he goes and he grasps her and, like, holds her, and she says, "Please, you have to save my husband. You have to do something."
Good
That's
luck.
an impossible task. I'm gonna kill myself doing it. I will spend the time to kind of let my body get rid of some of the noxious gases. Because otherwise these fortitude survival checks are gonna just destroy me.
Yep. Yeah, you
And
spend about
then,
10 to 15 minutes catching your breath down in the regular oxygen.
And they seem fine, dude. They seem like safe, right? There's
They
nothing...
seem safe enough. There doesn't seem like to be like any danger or like magma monsters that are around the area.
Okay.
They definitely make noise as they move, as you guys had found out, like down in the cave, like they're like kind of like a gelatinous kind of sound. So you're not hearing any of that. It's pretty quiet.
Okay. I guess I'm going back for the husband.
You go back down the chimneys. The grappling hook, I'm assuming, is still placed. And as you go down, you see that he is lying on the ground, completely unconscious. You go over to him, and you sense to see if he is breathing. I'm going to have you make a wisdom skill check for me.
Wisdom 12.
It seems he's not breathing anymore. He has perished.
Okay. I'll still try to get his body out.
Okay. Yeah, you begin to kind of like fold him up to a degree. That sounds terrible, but kind of like fold him into a position where you could kind of like shove him like up the chimney in a way. I'm going to have you make an endurance skill check as you attempt to do this, followed by a strength skill check.
Okay. Endurance is 8.
Okay.
Strength is 18.
You are able to kind of fold him up in a way where you actually begin to hear cracking of his bones as you're able to get his body into this large but like small in comparison to his size. As you start to dislocate his shoulders to just like get him to fit in the chimney, you begin to push him out from the bottom, and you are able over some time to be able to do that, but you do gain 1 point of weariness as you do this.
Okay. And so I do get him out.
You do
right?
get him out. Yep.
Okay. And then I'll just take his body back to his wife and kids.
You do so, and during this time, you can definitely feel like the strain of everything beginning to settle upon you as you deliver him. The son kind of weakly goes over to him and says, "Dad, thank goodness!" And he just like basically grasps his dad and like hugs him. And the wife comes over to you and she says, Thank you so much. And she goes over to try to help prop the husband up, who is unconscious at this point from their eyes.
And
the son says, Dad, wake up, as he kind of begins to start shaking his shoulders.
Yeah, I'll say, I don't know if he made it. We should descend down farther, and if he's still there, he'll have a better chance to survive. Let me check to see if I have any healing potions or anything like that.
That one's being generous. Oh my goodness.
I know.
I like you, Belvin. So sad.
Just needs to be cast out from the group to do this. I have Krupp's trinket.
Okay.
Would that have any effect?
Can you read to me what the effect of that does? I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's once per adventure when the wearer is unconscious and they fail a bleeding survival check, they succeed instead. Would that have any effect?
You can put it around his neck and attempt to utilize it.
Alrighty, I will.
As you do so, you place Krupp's trinket around, and you remember, like, obtaining this. Back when you were in the Subterran, you were in Sluppenpad, and you were out and around, and you were able to kind of make acquaintances with one of the young frogkin that were down there, the amphibikin, as they are. And you, for some reason, made friends with this little boy, and he gave you what was most precious to him in the world. This is your first time that you've really thought about this or used it or anything like that, and comes to your mind as you begin to put it around, and you remember kind of the innocent look in his eyes. It kind of mirrors the look of this child as well. And you place your hands over basically the main part of it. It's like a wooden kind of charm, and you place your hands over the top of it, and in your mind, you begin to, for the first time in what feels like a very long time, begin to hope beyond hopes. You begin to pray. I'm going to have you make a faith survival check for me.
Faith survival check. Yeah, I've been holding on to this thing forever. Let's see. Faith. It's 10.
As you begin to pray, you can feel that there is a warmth from beneath your hands. And it gets hotter and hotter, but you know, like, something is happening, something is working here. And it's become burning hot, scalding hot as it begins to just get hotter and hotter. I'm going to have you take 2 points of flame damage as it just begins to scald and burn your hands, but you don't let go until it gets hotter and hotter and hotter. And then all of a sudden you can see there is almost kind of like a shimmer between the scales of this black draken, as if life has been returned to it to a degree, and the non-breathing begins to be shallow and labored. This works. As you take your hands off of the chest, you see that the kind of swirled emblem of that is now burned into the chest of this draken man. But as you are able to remove this trinket and kind of pocket it again. But whatever you did, whatever prayer you made, it did work.
All right. And this one's per adventure. I've burned through it, right?
Yep.
All right. And how far are we on the hill still?
You're about, again, halfway down. You haven't been
Okay.
able to go down closer to the boats at this point.
Okay. I'll tell the wife and this kid, like, hey, he's breathing. We need to go down. Like, ships is where we're going to be safe, where we can get health. We have people on that ship that can help us. So
they help. You don't need to make any checks as you begin to. They hobble down the side of this mountain to the ships. You do get noticed as you make your way down by Sariel, who's up in the crow's nest, and she says,
that good for nothing. She can actually see us.
She does see us. She says, Belbin, let the plank over. Somebody let Belbin on. He seems to have refugees. Barnacle Bill, he makes his way over and he says, howdy do, absolutely. And there's a little bit of some stirring amongst the crew as everybody's like sleeping into the night as he very, very almost spider-like crawls through the bodies of Draken that are there and lays down the plank for Belbin to be able to get this family up on board. At which point
I'll be asking for Lyra.
Lyra.
I need Lyra.
Lyra is down below deck. She is sleeping. You go find her and wake her up and bring her over. And she looks to you and she says, Belbin, you did a very good thing here. Here, help me. And as you bring them over to kind of closer to the captain's quarters where there's a little bit of space, she begins to work kind of on some of what she can. She actually pulls out what looks like this mask with a essentially this like sack like attached to it, kind of like a bellows, as she begins to pump oxygen into the lungs of the dad, who's just barely breathing, and is able to get to stabilize his breathing to a point where he's making deep breaths, still unconscious but alive. And at this point, Belbin, you can gain 3 points or lose 3 points of misery, and I'm going to actually give
Go Belbin.
You get a what?
He gets 1 blessing to be able to use.
Oh,
Hey.
Go Belbin.
turning over a new leaf. Is this because you're neutral now? You just felt
I don't know what
inspired?
I don't know what that was.
That's nice. I like
Yeah, so then I'll tell them that they're in good hands. And go to bed.
Poor Draken, dude. He's just freaking pretzeled.
Yeah, that dude has
He's
got
alive.
dislocated
He's
everything.
alive. dislocated shoulders and everything like that. But then you make your way down to your bed, and nobody is occupying your room. Nobody has put a large ornery Draken in there to crush your bed. But you make
And
your way
I'll
to your
just
room, and then you
Comment that all my Eclaas mates are full of hot air and empty threats.
you rest your head on the pillow and you fall asleep, and you fall into a dreamless sleep. You don't think about the quiet feeling that was basically in your mind previously as you made your way up to the crater. If anything, you feel like the events of what happened and kind of the miracle that you saw in front of you, it lifts your heart. The darkness is kind of dispelled, and as you fall asleep, you think not of the death that is at your hands, but looking up and seeing Shada there and seeing just kind of like the good memories, the good thoughts, that things that kept you when you were part of the Cascade Brigade like sane during those moments, and you're able to it eventually does go black and you go to sleep. Everybody can have a haven rest, and at that point that is where we're going to go ahead and end our session for today.
Ooh, good
Does a
end.
haven rest get
That's
rid of
resets
weariness?
everything.
Everything. So it resets everything.
Great.
I think
So
with
I'm no
weariness-
longer cursed.
You are no longer cursed, and I think with weariness, it's based off of like your levels of it. So, like for example, 48 hours. You need to have at least rested 48 hours to get rid of like what was that, like 3 weariness. With 1 point of weariness, it's going to get rid of your weariness for you. So
Nice.
Okay.
with that, let's go ahead and talk to you guys. Thoughts on today's session and going forward. Before we do that, just a couple of scheduling things. So our next session for Everlast is going to be on the 23rd/24th. For those that are watching. So it's a great way to be able to do that. But in February, we do only have one session, as our first session of February is on the 13th/14th, which is Valentine's Day for me. So we'll not be there on that day. So our next one then will be the 27th, 28th of February. But we do have one more session in the month of January up until that point to look forward to. So just let you all know that that's kind of the plan going forward as far as our next streams. But anyways, Zill, Max, your thoughts?
What?
Ah.
I didn't expect this session to just, like, take all the turns that it did. It was good.
What just happened?
This was a very dense session.
Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. Like, I mean, Zill's been doing all his abilities and stuff, and like we've been making light of the Peter tingle, but like to actually get explanation and information, like I did not see that coming. And Zill's like, I have no idea what it would take to destroy a prime void crystal, but it's like I'm the only one who can do it.
Gonna Rudot.
I've gotta try. Like, how do you not try?
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
That was
though.
crazy. Yeah, it was. Zill was kind of serious, kind of not. I was like, okay, Belvin, if you're worried about the boat, just get off the boat.
If ship's going down, you don't have to go down with it.
Who knew
Yeah,
in his
like,
heart he was being a philanthropist? It was
And I
great.
don't know, that was, yeah, just kind of that weird spot of like there still is like Zill's got this weird tension of he wants to take care of those who can't take care of themselves, but he also like looks out for himself first. Like, so there's that constant kind of tension. Like he is a street rat who had to sleep with his armor on and like his arm around his axe and like his bag of stuff around his other arm, but he also cared for any orphan he could find. So like never fully sure what that balance should be of when should he be generous and charitable and when should he be selfish. But I think the people coming on the boat kind of struck that like leader of the orphan chord in his heart of like, these are the people I cared for in Helix. So it's like, no, Belvin, shut up. We're taking care of these people. We'll figure it out later.
And lo and behold, Belbin's bringing more on board.
I know, that made me laugh so
Well,
much. It's like,
it was
"Bill, weren't you
funny.
mad at the number of people on the boat?"
It was funny. I was gonna make him stay on the dock, and then And
they
then
go up on
Barnacle
board and you
Bill-
just hear a and then there's a hole that just goes, the Titanic starts happening.
Yeah, but then once Barnacle Bill lowered the plank, I was like, I can't make these guys stay on the dock.
Yeah, you wait here. I'm going to bed.
I'll send you help. I've got a nice fluffy bed with a pillow with my name written on it.
That's good.
Nice. Anything else, Max?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Dane, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very, like, I feel like we have a direction moving forward, and we got lots of really useful information. I've been really, I mean, in my free time thinking about how we're going to be dealing with this Prime Void Crystal. It's good we got a lot of information. I liked all the history that we got from Horatius. That was really cool. Finding out about his backstory a little bit more. Finding out about how he was a previous wielder of the Celestial Bow, or whatever it's called, the special bow. Actually finding out really kind of what we're up against, especially with Ragnik. We know about the ship now. We know about the demon Emineth and his ideals more so. So we're starting to finally put pieces together. Very impressed with Belbin. I don't know if that's what the intention was. I'm curious to hear when Connor talks, but curious to find out what his motivations were, because knowing Belbin, he'd been like, screw them. I have more respect for him.
Time
now,
to loot
so.
the buildings as they're
Loot
empty.
the bill. No, I mean, I kind of got the feeling, like, especially when he was like looking for survivors, that he was going to be trying to find it, but the extent that he went to, and the compassion in particular, with despite the dude passing away, still doing his best to try to reunite him with his family, I thought was awesome. Putting his own health at risk for it too, which was impressive. But no, I mean, just getting to find out a lot of like the information we need to, like, especially we found out a lot about like the War of the Dragon Emperor, right? Is that what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
And finding out just from a first-hand perspective of someone who was around during that time who could do it. And I mean, those of you who know the Everlast TCG makes me really excited for the future.
I was thinking that same thing.
Pretty sweet. We'll talk with you a little bit off stream about that, Connor. But no, I mean, I'm just really excited. We got a lot of lore drop. We got a lot of really good moments from everyone, and we got a lot of good information. I feel confident moving forward that we actually have a plan on what we're doing. So I thought it was a good session
For sure. And Connor, last but not least, your thoughts on today's session?
Yeah, I came in late, so it took me a little bit to get my bearings on what was going on, but kind of figured it out.
Yeah, you didn't miss much.
Yeah, okay. And Belbin was not, he's not happy with everyone on board. It's the phrase, don't light yourself on fire to keep others warm, kind of comes to mind. So that's kind of where he was coming from with, why are all these people going to be breaking our ship? But yeah, I think Belvin's a stubborn SOB where he he was like, fine, if you guys don't want me there, then like I'll get off the ship, you know. And I didn't know what was gonna happen looking up there. I thought it would just be like, Belvin honestly was just pissed that these guys were on the ship without knowing whether their houses like were standing or not. So I think once Belvin got to like the edge, he had his little moment of reminiscing. Then it was like, and just seeing the destruction that sounds like most of the city handled. Then he was like, ah, crap. And then just kind of, I didn't know what I was looking for. After I saw that a few houses had gone away, like had been just, the people had just left in a hurry. I was like, we'll see where this goes. But yeah, there were a lot of lucky rolls, because there were some high rolls with low
Consequences.
Low consequence, but then also like low modifiers to help. But then there were also some low rolls with high modifiers, like the strength check and the physical check. I rolled like a 3 and a 5, but I have like an 8 and a 7 for the modifier, so those bump those up to be like pretty good rolls actually, good enough rolls. But yeah, I was not gonna go back to save the dad until the wife was like, save him. I was like, oh crap.
What is that in Belbin's conscious though?
There's something where it's I don't know how to describe it. It's like you have to try, and the same with the guy who was like, when we were sailing away, and we were like, should we go back and try to save him or not? And it was like, well, if we don't turn this ship around, then there's like no chance of even saving him. So there was like, fine, I'll go down there and check him out and like see if he's still alive. And then when he's dead, it's like, well, I can't just leave his body down here. You know, it's one of those things where it's like you're being guided by a lantern. Like you can only see 5 feet out in front of you, and then like once you move 5 feet, then the next 5 feet appear, and then the next 5 feet. So you have to like keep going, I think, with Belbin, and it's like, well, okay, let's turn the ship around. Did we find him? Yeah, we found him. Well, should we get him up? Yeah, I guess we should get him up. It's just kind of the same thing with the chimney of like, oh, well, all right, I wasn't going to go back for him. Like, I was just going to get the kid and leave the other two. And then I was like, oh, got to just try the wife. Then the wife got up, and she was saying, go down and get the husband. It's like, oh, all right, I guess. And then, yeah, got to pretzel him up. Then, like, can we even get him out? And it was like, if I failed one check, I was just going to leave him. But then didn't fail a check. So then now he's out. And then I was going to try to use, I know. And then I was going to try to use some healing item that I have. But I was like, he's already dead. The only thing I have is this corrupt streak. And I've literally been holding on to this for probably like 4 years now. And like, it's kind of changed what the effects of it was over time. Like when it was in D&D, it did something different. So I was like, well, let's see if it works. And then again, I had a fairly low roll. I think my faith was 5, but I have a 5 modifier for it to make like a 10. So yeah, I don't know. It's just one thing. The stars kind of aligned with the rolls, and with Belbin just being like prideful is how it all started.
I like what you said there, where it's just like you have to try. You got to like actually take that step forward in order to get things moving. Because if you just sit passively and just like let things happen, you don't have any effect on anything. Like the consequences are like your lack of involvement. And
right. And yeah, and that was the whole thing. It was like once Belbin got like an obstacle besides him trying, he would have been like, hey, I tried to save your husband. He's too heavy. He doesn't fit in the chimney. He doesn't whatever, you know. But it was like, well, I'll go and try. I passed that check. Okay.
Nice thing is he was unconscious, so you could pretzel him.
yeah. So yeah, it was just felt like one of those things where it's like, well, I guess this is meant to happen.
It was
I don't know what's gonna
too, because as far as like those checks were concerned, like he would have still, like if you hadn't like waited those like 15 minutes to go back to get him, he would have still been conscious when you were back to go get him. But again, the checks would have been more difficult because you haven't gotten your bearings yet. And so it kind of, again, it worked out. Like, I don't know how willing he would be for you to just like break his shoulders in order to get him up the chimney for that, if he wasn't unconscious or dying or basically
right. Well,
dead, so.
What I was thinking is that I wasn't even going to be passing these fortitude checks, and then I'm going to be in trouble too. Like that was what I was thinking. Is it's like, wow, I rolled a 15 for a 21, and that was a good roll, and then that like I was rolling plenty of 3s and 5s and like low rolls as well. I was like, that's not going to get it done. So yeah,
Absolutely.
Can I tell you something, Connor?
Yeah.
Belbin has a nice career in being Santa Claus after this, I think. After all is said and done.
after all of his Grinch times where he was going and taking gifts from people, he's going to be coming down to trees to gift.
I'll be taking the trees and shoving them up the
rare roast beast.
Yeah.
I love it. That was good. It was a fun session. Like I kind of always go into like these sessions with a general idea of what's going to happen, but the one thing I love about this game and what makes it exciting for me is I don't know what you guys are going to do, like what your priorities are. Obviously there's like some like lore drop moments that happen, but like there's stuff that happens that like I won't like spill if it's like not like a decent time to do it, or if you guys haven't provoked an action for it to become like a thing for me to like give you information on. whether it's the like information about like the Rune Lord stuff and talking about the like bow, like if the bow never came up and if Yuki didn't have it like on her stuff, he wouldn't have been able to see that like you guys had this bow to be able to like do something with it. And so the fact that it was like it's kind of like, again, right people, right places, right time. Unless Yuki went back with that set of armor, like he wouldn't have had that lore to be able to share with you or things like that. And so it all kind of works out, and it's kind of fun to see like how each session evolves and adapts to circumstances that you guys place the story in, which is cool. Which it's fun because it shows that you guys actually have like relevance in the story. It's not just like you guys are being led along. There's a general narrative, but you guys play into that, and many things change. I can't tell you the amount of things that change based off of like the stuff that you guys put into it, which is a fun thing for me, because if it's just kind of like a like an audio book of me just doing everything, that's not much fun for anybody. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Dane, any announcements or anything before we do conclude?
Yeah, a couple quick ones. I know the last time we streamed, we were talking about the success of the Everlast trading card game. Things are moving, so they are moving, and again, everything's still on time as far as things come out. As far as like getting the cards ordered, we're waiting on a specific thing to happen before we actually get them ordered, but we're still on time, so we're still good as far as like getting things shipped out to everyone. So yeah, everything's on time. So that's the biggest thing when it comes to Veil of Twilight and Night of Martyrs, our last two sets that just released for the Everlast trading card. Really excited for them. We are starting up 2 new leagues, starting season 2. So those of you who have been part of the Everlast trading card game league system, which is our competitive play, or at the very least at this point just our fun get together play. We are just finishing season 1. It will finish this month. We have our last session of season 1 on the 20th, which is a Tuesday down in Castle Rock at Inconceivable Toys and Games. But starting in February, we'll be starting season 2, and we're going to be opening some new league locations in the Littleton / Denver area of Colorado, which is going to be fun. And again, if anyone has any desire to start leagues anywhere else where you are, reach out to us. Again, especially in our Discord. Our Discord's a great place for to reach out if you're curious about hosting for league. But let me send that information. We do require some information as far as that goes. So again, it will require a little bit of work on your end in order to get the league started, just because we got to check out that it's legit. But at the same time, please reach out to us if you are curious about starting a league anywhere. But we'll be starting up at 2 new locations. The first location is going to be once a month, and we're looking at the first Saturday of every month, Saturday morning of every month at Light of the World Catholic Church, which will be good. And that'll be starting hopefully in February, if not in March. Still got some things to go to look through, but then our other location is going to be at Enchanted Grounds in Littleton, Colorado, and that is going to be league location. It's going to be twice a month, but it's going to be a RSVP league, because specifically for that place, it's a coffee shop / game shop, and so like tables are at a premium, so you actually have to like register how many people are going to be there before each session. So for every one of those sessions, a week out is when we're going to make the reservation for it. So again, if you are curious about that, we'll continuously have reminders. Then reach out to us on Discord if you are interested in joining, and we should
add on our Discord server like an Everlast League tab. That might be a great resource for people to be able to like use specifically for League TCG stuff.
Yeah, and so we're gonna be doing that. That's gonna be twice a month. We still gotta decide on a date, preferably a date that works well for everyone. But we're kind of leaning towards Saturdays because most people are open on Saturdays. But we'll see. When the time comes, we still have a little bit to go. But once season 2 starts for the Everlast League, obviously you can still join. But we're gonna have new league promos that are coming out. So again, for season 1, it was a bunch of really useful art cards from the first 2 sets. Raising of Helix and the Heroes of the West, and they are in Eclaas special artwork. So if you come to the one in Castle Rock this month, you'll be getting the Belbin card actually, which is pretty cool. So the Debilitating Ray promo card, which is a really strong art to be able to use. And then, yeah, starting in this new year for season 2, the first half of it is going to be Veil of Twilight full art cards, which is pretty cool. So they're going to be creature cards, rare creature cards that are in full arts, which are pretty nice. And then the second half of season 2 is going to be the set that's going to be releasing starting on Kickstarter in the summer this next year. So which is pretty cool. As that's, I think, all the information as far as the Everlast League goes. Everything else. So again, Kyle, you're going to be streaming on Sunday, Colorado time. You're going to be continuing Fire Emblem Engage, which is pretty good. It's been really fun. Those of you who have never seen a Fire Emblem game, I think this is a good game for you to get into. And it's just been really fun and entertaining. So come join Kyle for that. We also have some ways to be able to support Everlast. So we have Fragrances of the Realm and Candles of the Realm, or Fragrance of the Realm, which is Candles of the Realm, and Coffee of the Realm, which is our Everlast themed coffee and fragrance line. The coffee specifically with what's it called? Roastify coffee. We have 8 different roasts, including decaf, dark, light, medium. My personal favorite is that's the decaf blend that Kyle has. My personal favorite is the Helix blend. It's a little nutty. It's kind of nice. I really like it, but they're all really good. I also really like the Hightower blend quite a bit, but they're good. And all proceeds go to helping fund the game of Everlast, specifically our artists. So it's pretty good. As far as our candles, same thing. So we got a bunch of really good scents. I know Kyle was saying that he just finished up his which one is that? Forest scent. Realm. Which smells like Christmas trees.
It's the Christmas one. I have like a little bit of wax at the bottom, so I can just like leave it open and smell. But it's so good. This one was perfect for Christmas time.
So yeah, and also we've been really, really active on our social medias, including Instagram. I know Kyle, your Instagram's been blowing up recently. The Everlast TCG Instagram. So we've got a couple thousand followers on that, which is great. And even the Fantasy Forge TCG has been growing, which has been awesome. And again, we're posting daily content on that. So especially if you're curious about cards that are in the Veil of Twilight or cards that are in the Night of Martyrs, we post every day new cards and new abilities, and in the future we'll be posting some even like opening content, things like that. So if you're curious about the Everlast TCG, that's the place to go for sure. And then we also have YouTube, our YouTube channel, the Fantasy Forged YouTube channel, where we upload our streams of this of Everlast to the Tabletop RPG on there, but we also have a lot of Everlast TCG content on there as well, so go check that out. And I'll post those links. Kyle, if you have anything else you want to mention?
No, that pretty much is everything. I just want to remind everybody, especially as we go into this new year, that we're really starting to push like the Everlast, not just as a brand, but we really want more and more people to understand it, become interested in it. Obviously, our Kickstarter is finished as far as orders for the new set, but come May, when the set does go global and go live, that's going to be your opportunity to do it. If you are curious and you are in Colorado about those leagues and you're like, I don't have cards, so I don't want to play, I can't come and do anything, we provide
have cards. Don't worry,
we have cards for you to play, so you can learn to play it and whatnot. We're kind of working behind the scenes a little bit to try to get like an online something for you all to be able to play it online as well, but that's still in development. So we're doing what we can to be able to get this to you outside. And again, if you are interested in hosting a league, let us know. We do again need details. We need a location. We need basically a main person in charge of that with the personal details, and primarily because of league promos and stuff. Like, it does cost money to print those and get those to you guys, and so we're not just having any willy-nilly person do. So we need to like proof and stuff about like leagues and desire for that. So again, reach out to us in the Discord and everything. But I think that's it. All kinds of stuff on YouTube. Go check that out.
I made the Everlast League channel.
Oh, did you think so?
Thanks,
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Also, if you're in Colorado, come to League. I dare you. Fight my trees.
Oh my gosh, I'll tell you. Max, #1 player in Colorado right now. It's good stuff.
Thanks to the trees.
Freaking trees, man.
Trees. But yeah, that's it. That's all I can think of.
I made the trees worse, but I made them just discard instead of kill you, and it was.
It works.
Miserable.
You discarded my whole deck.
Stain, it was miserable, and it was really funny.
It wasn't worse. It was different.
is what it was.
It was worse to play against, is what I mean.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I had a great time.
Absolutely.
Dane did
Yeah.
not.
But I think that's going to do it. Pray for me. Pray for each other. Make sure, know that we're praying for you. And we will see you all on Monday. Or at least I will see you all on Monday for some more Fire Emblem Engage. We'll see you in 2 weeks for more Everlast Adventures of Eclaas. But until then, God bless you all. I will see you all then. And have an amazing one. May Alomnia guide each and every one of you. Bye, everybody.